than that.
Yeah.
What's it called? Because they don't play around with shit. They say what it is, and that's it. Um, but I was hoping by that time, because that was a long, that was a while ago. I've been telling you this.
Yeah.
What's it called? I figured it'd be good to go. By that point, and it would just be you two rocking it until I'm back.
Yeah. We'll have to
But
wait and see, but
but
yeah,
let's be
let's
real.
see.
You've been doing this shit solo Magolo
Oh
from the
yeah,
start,
a
man.
long time, man.
Before we even came along.
Yeah,
So
I got it. Yeah,
like
I
it's
got it for sure.
technically nothing new. You got it. You'll be fine. But it does
Yeah, for sure.
suck.
Yeah, I mean, life's in peaks and valleys. All right, here we go. Yo, what's
Yeah.
going on, everybody? It's Jay the Great here. We're back with another pod here today. Got me and Batman here. It's been a couple weeks. We've all been on the career grind. You guys know what it's been like the last few months, but we're back. Lots of things have happened in the anime world. Boruto has been cooking highly. I mean, the last chapter was insanely peak. Insanely peak, actually. So we'll probably be discussing that. A few new flicks dropped 28 years later. Got the first zombie movie to drop in quite some time. That's been at least somewhat anticipated. There's been some mixed reviews on that. I watched it myself. There's a lot of things. John Jones retiring. So we got plenty to discuss. Let me just let the people know. By the way, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the like button. It's really appreciated. But yeah, while I let the people know, I guess we could start out by talking about the newest chapter of Boruto. It was crazy. Let's just say Kawaki made a resurgence as far as power scaling relevance. The guy saved Boruto's life, so that's something to note. Also, to give credit to Boruto though,
Definitely a switch up too. Because
yeah,
wasn't it like? Because I haven't seen it, read everything yet. Because I'm kind of waiting, but I see things here and there. Unfortunately, because of social media.
yeah,
But like, wasn't it originally initially like he kind of like made the whole fucking world against him and shit? You know what I mean? Like he
yeah.
had like a whole agenda of like trying to get everybody to kill his ass. So it's like then he goes to save. It's like what the? It's like make up your mind, bro.
Yeah, it's a little contradicting to what we all thought originally he was going to
Yeah,
plan,
the
but
whole omnipotence shit, right? You
yeah, the
know.
whole omnipotence thing with Ida. So
Hmm.
Jura essentially wounds Boruto. At the beginning of this chapter, he's fighting. Boruto's fighting Jura, wounded. Still holds his
Oh, so
own.
Jura's that guy. He's
Yeah,
that
Jura's that
motherfucking guy,
guy.
huh?
He holds his own. He even cuts off his foot or some shit with his sword. He uses purple
Yeah.
lightning. So shout out to Kakashi. Um, uses purple lightning to fend Jura off. Then before Jura's about to take him out, Kawaki comes in, stabs him through the eye with like his rod or whatever he has. Doesn't do anything to him. Literally like tanks it. Then he starts fighting Kawaki. And then even Jura states that Kawaki has gotten exponentially times stronger since he's last seen him and sensed his chakra, which is very telling. The last time we got a statement
Yeah.
like that, I believe, was Kaguya. Last time we've gotten an exponential increase. I could be mistaken. Maybe someone else gained that much more, or someone else was stated to gain that much more power. But Kaguya was stated to get exponential increase in power during the war arc as well. So that's a very high classification of improvement in power. So Kawaki clearly is that guy right now. And Drew is not outright stating like, "Oh, Kawaki's stronger than me," but he's stating, "Oh, you've gotten a lot stronger, exponentially times stronger." And the chapter obviously ends with
That's
that.
a big deal, especially
Yeah,
if you analyze the word exponential. That's kind of similar to when Kaguya,
massive.
when she
Yeah,
was fighting, and then she had it exponentially got stronger. It was the same shit, So that's a pretty big growth, When
that's
they
huge.
when mangas or anime say exponential, that means there was a big growth, and the only reason why I'm saying that now is because I've been rewatching Dragon Ball Z, which is peak.
It's peak. Yeah,
What's it called? And I'm at the Boo arc again now. And they mentioned that a couple times through Cell, through Boo, like when they throw that word, oh yeah, this motherfucker got like exponentially stronger. Whenever that word's thrown, that means it's a big deal.
it's a
Like
huge
it's
difference.
consistent, like in any
Yeah,
manga or anime. Yeah,
yeah.
So
That's one of the
that's pretty
largest.
interesting.
Yeah.
My question is, was that base or him using karma? I
Actually,
haven't
that
seen it.
was actually. Let me. I have the chapter right now. It was. When does he
If that's
say it?
base, that's even crazy.
Yeah, he
That's even more
says
crazy.
it. Let's see. It's over here.
Shit.
40. All right, so he's actually still. Let's see. How can this be? It's a little vague. So it shows
Hmm.
Kawaki looking up at him. He tells Boruto to
Yeah.
get up, Kawaki, and then Jura says, "I sense in him exponentially greater power than before."
Mm.
Um, Actually, I think he's still in base here because then you see Kawaki give another statement where he's telling Boruto like, if you basically implying if you have a Natsutsuki manifestation, I'm
Yeah.
gonna kill you, and then he
Mm.
awakens his karma. It seems like he has control now. At the very end of the
Oh
chapter,
yeah,
he's
so
like,
he was in base then.
"That's crazy."
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
Sheesh.
he's definitely gotten a lot
Base
stronger.
slap shit.
Yeah, and he seems to have. It seems maybe he has even greater control over karma now as well.
Yeah, because didn't he like get like bitched by Jura like way
Yeah, he
back
got
then or when
slammed
like
before.
Jura, yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
people are
saying.
theorizing that.
And that's what would have happened right there and then again. So yeah, he clearly had to get way strong because the fact that he's announcing that and he's not immediately speed blitzing him either,
Yeah,
that there you go. Like that's all the proof you need.
and it's probably
So
due to Amato unlocking his potential or whatever, like
yeah.
unrestricting his limiters. What's going on, King?
Mhm.
Please talk about John Jones retiring. That's bullshit. What's going on, by the way, King? So yeah, we have to discuss that.
Honestly,
John
it's
Jones.
smart though. He's old, man. He's getting
Yeah.
old now.
So do I like the way he retired? I'll be honest, no. I mean, it's not only his fault, but he held the belt for almost longer than any other heavyweight champion ever did, and he never even defended it. He won against Stipe and then
Facts.
just kept the belt till now, till he retired. Do I like that?
Yeah.
No. I think he held up the division a long time, over a year's time. I think
He
like
should
two
have had
years.
one more fight. He
Yeah,
definitely should have had one more fight.
one
I'm
more
sorry. Like,
fight.
come on, bro.
The
Come
way he
on.
retired was a little distasteful.
Wasn't he
Again,
talking shit too to that one
yeah,
dude? Like, you know what I
been
mean? Like
talking shit
talk
the
shit that
whole
and then you
time.
retire? Like what?
Yeah, so he's still the greatest. That's still not debatable
Yeah,
as far
can't
as
take that
his.
away. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't take his resume away. People are theorizing it's because of his current legal trouble. He apparently had like a hit and run again. He didn't hit anyone, but he left like some lady in a car that he was. I don't know if he was fucking her or what, but he left some girl in a car, and
That
then
man don't learn.
yeah, and
That
then
man-
allegedly he called like the police. He was threatening police, saying that he was gonna send third parties to go hurt them or some bullshit. None of this is proven yet, but right
Yeah,
now,
it's all just like alligating. Like
yeah,
the only thing that was legit was like he was obviously convicted. Like, there's like a
yeah,
mug shot and blah blah. All that bullshit. But obviously, because he's rich, he has lawyers and shit. He's gonna get
yeah,
out,
he's
blah
gonna get
blah.
off.
It'll be like a whole, yeah, yeah. But like at the end of the day, all I will say is, let's be real. There's always some shit going on with him. You
He's
know what
been
I
a
mean?
fuck up
And
for many years.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and honestly, it's to the point where it's like it's not really like, oh, it's just bullshit or some like
yeah,
weird ass agenda or a fame chasing type agenda. It's not because John Jones isn't like an Andrew Tate or like a drama
no,
popular type. You know what I
he's
mean? Like
not.
he doesn't have persona. He's literally just an athlete and a sport dude. And when he's literally getting in trouble, it's like it's just he's admitted it. He's literally
Yeah,
admitted it himself too. You know
he's
what I mean?
admitted it.
Like whenever
Yeah,
he's had to talk about it, or if Dana had to talk about it, shit like that. So like for one, he don't bullshit or lie about shit. And
no,
then two, like the fact that it's becoming a consistency,
yeah, it's
I
not
feel like
bullshit.
that kind of speaks volumes from itself. Um, so at the end of the day, like main point being said, I'm not saying whatever he has going on, like that's literally what happened, but I will say he is like a problem child in a way.
He is. He
And
is.
it's kind of funny as fuck because it's like imagine that, like imagine fighting a dude that is like technically not really a good dude, right? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
not the best
But you
dude.
can't beat him. That would
Yeah.
piss me off, bro.
That's why Daniel
Man,
Cormier. Yeah, Daniel Cormier
you know.
hated him so much. He hated him so much, but just couldn't beat him. Just couldn't beat him in a fight.
Like, yeah, that I feel like is like the worst thing you could possibly go through in your life where you fucking hate a guy, but you can't fuck with the guy. You
You
know what I
can't
mean?
fuck with him.
That's like your worst nightmare. You know
No
what I
one
mean? Like
could.
it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. Like John Jones is like the boogeyman at UFC. It's
Yeah,
like he's not a great dude. You know what I mean? But he is that guy, and nobody can do a damn thing about it. Even if they have
yeah.
good morals and principles or philosophy, like it is what it is, So
Just such a yeah. He's
but
been a fuck up for so long. I'm not even surprised he got in trouble again.
yeah.
Again, as far as a fighter, he's my favorite of all time. He's the best of
Yeah,
all
he's
time.
peak.
As
Yeah, and
far
I'll rep that too. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I'll rep that all
as
day.
far as like overall character, it'd probably be like
Yeah,
GSP or
character. Yeah, he can
something.
go fuck himself. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
not even
don't
close.
support that shit. I don't tolerate that
No,
shit.
it'd have to
And
be
at the end of the day,
GSP
I'm
or
gonna be honest. I'm
no.
gonna be honest. I feel like even though like obviously physically and competing wise, this doesn't matter. But like when I'm sorry guys, but if you're really a man, like if you're dead ass, like what the embodiment of what a man should be, you're gonna be disciplined. You know what I mean, right?
Yeah, you
Like
don't
you're
do
gonna
dumb
be
shit like
focused.
that.
You're gonna have, yeah, you're not gonna be doing all that dumb weird shit and putting
Yeah.
yourself in those like that. That's not you're not a man, bro. When you're doing
No,
that
so you're
stupid
not.
ass shit,
I agree. That's a lack of discipline.
that's yeah, it's a lack
Uh,
of discipline, which is crazy and extremely ironic because he's
yeah.
in the fucking UFC. Like
Yeah.
this guy got the best trainers, professionals, like all kinds of motherfuckers around him. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you can't behave.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
Like you got a
you
whole
know,
family.
it's like Conor McGregor too. It's another
He's a
fucking
fuck up.
man child. Like
Yeah.
it's like it's just crazy, man. Like so at the end of the day, like me, I don't really have respect for that. I feel like that's like that doesn't
It's
make you a
weak.
man at all. It's the opposite. It makes you a kid, like a child.
Yeah, it's very
But at
immature.
the end of the day, here's the crazy thing. I could say all this shit all I want, but I would never be able to do shit about
Facts. Yeah, I mean he
it.
fucks up like everyone in the
Yep,
in the population, but
anybody,
yeah, anybody in the
So
population he fuck up. John Jones versus Tom.
yeah.
So if they were to fight, I don't think Tom. Well, this is based off the last version of John that we've seen, right? Which was against Stipe. I'll admit, John looks
Yep.
slower, and obviously he was already in his late 30s, and now he's getting closer to 40. I'll
Get
still say
older. Yep.
Tom. I still say Tom couldn't handle his wrestling game at the very least, and I think
Because the
Jones
dude he
would have.
went against was no joke too, right? Like
Yeah, Stipe is
he
one of the
was
greatest of all time.
solid,
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. And like, and do you think Steve is greater than Tom or no?
yeah. Overall, like all time great.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
he
saying.
definitely is.
Yeah, I think he's great, definitely greater too. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if John can beat him, I don't. How the fuck, you know what I mean? What the fuck Tom gonna do?
Yeah, like Tom has
You know?
he has the probably right now in his prime he has the athletic advantage. He definitely
Yeah,
has a power advantage. Jones was never a power striker. He's more of like a methodical,
right.
like volume guy.
Very calculated,
Calculated,
very
yeah.
versatile. Like he can do it
And
all.
another
Grapple,
great
strike.
advantage he has, and this isn't Tom's fault. Tom's never even been past like the first or second round. He like fucking sleeps everyone like the first round or some shit like that. So Jones has been
Mm.
tested like 4 or 5 like the championship rounds consistently.
Yeah.
So we don't know how Tom
Endurance is
would
a big
do.
deal.
Yeah,
Endurance
and
is a big deal. If he's not used to that and he's just used to like just,
sleeping people. Yeah,
whooping ass and beating a bunch of noobs, or basically mid tiers, right? And shit. But when
yeah,
you're fighting the real deal, somebody that is just as dangerous as you, or probably even more dangerous, but also has the stamina and endurance as well to compete with the best of the best throughout decades.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you don't
There's no
have
question.
those feats because you've never been pushed to that point. Yeah, I'm sorry, but the cards are kind of,
Yeah, I'd probably still
so
take John. John's defense.
yeah,
Defense is one of the last things to go with age. The first thing to go with age is reflex and like
yeah.
defensive reaction time. But
He was
Jones
definitely
doesn't.
slower too.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Jones. The thing with Jones' defense, he doesn't depend on his reaction time. He's not like a Floyd Mayweather. He's more of like a calculated distance management type fighter. He just keeps his distance.
yeah,
He manages
yeah.
distance very well, even in older.
He analyzes you. He's got like
Yeah,
John Joe's like kind of like a Sasuke Uchiha, bro. He whipped out the shotgun and he'll just be look at it. He'll be like, all right, how am I gonna beat
he
this
watches you.
motherfucker?
Yeah,
Basically,
he's not
and he
like he
watches
never.
you. He sees your patterns. Yeah,
Yeah, so I do think Jones would. I still think he'd win. Obviously, unless he's gotten even slower or he's like a fucking shell of himself. But with the last
yeah.
version we
Like
saw,
Jay.
yeah,
Jones's combat IQ is no joke. Is no joke. His
it's one of
combat
the best of all
IQ is
time.
very fucking impressive. It's
Yeah,
like if you go and watch his fights, like if you get a subscription for UFC and you go to John Jones's playlist and you look at like where he's going against the best of the best, not no fucking trap, you know what I mean? Like the
legends.
real deal people, legends and shit. And the way he beats every single one is different from how he did it before. It's
Yeah,
always different. It's
very
always something
versatile.
like for instance, like that one karate dude. I'll never
Yeah,
forget where that dude was actually really fucking fast. Like there was moments where he
striking.
blitzed Jones here and there. Yeah,
Yeah,
his striking was fucking fast, but he couldn't really. But Jones like improvised and did well and strategized with it. But what Jones eventually did, he took advantage of that when he went in and he put him in a fucking guillotine and just put his
he
ass
was
to
gone.
sleep
Yeah, he
and
was gone.
dropped him, gone.
Yeah,
Like it's just how calculated he is and how he'll like counter strategize. Like, bro, he's no joke, man. So
yeah,
that's what I said. Like, I'm sorry, but he would be able to figure something out with Tom, and then there you go. Or worst case scenario, if it didn't really get anywhere, I'm sorry, but I highly doubt Tom's beating him in the score metrics.
yeah. I think
So
Jones is he's one of the best point fighters, and that's another reason
yeah,
why he'd win. He didn't lose.
he's gonna get more
Against
points. Yeah.
Yeah, he attacks every like part of the body, the knees, the fucking
Yep.
thighs, everything. He's just very calculated, and methodical. Tom, there's
Yep.
obviously a possibility he could win, but yeah, I think Jones would probably
Yeah.
win still.
Always.
Yeah, it's still probably. I heard that John
Like
Jones
if
was on.
Tom's going against like a 40-year-old motherfucking Jones, or a 50-year-old, then yeah, Tom, right?
Yeah,
Probably,
Tom. He's in
more than
his
likely.
prime right
But
now.
that's
Yeah,
age. Yeah,
yeah, that's just age. It's like Chuck
But
Liddell when he got old, he was fucking he was a shell of himself. So
and it don't matter who you are. Like literally, the last fight John Jones did, there was a drastic difference with that to compare to what he did way back then and
in
shit.
fact, his
So
speed has definitely decreased. Yeah, it's definitely
yeah,
decreased. I heard that Jones was on steroids in the Daniel fight. Do you think that played a factor? So I go based off the evidence, right? I go based off what USADA said. So USADA said that he tested positive for a non-performing enhancing amount of PEDs. So I would say more than likely no. I think Jones
yeah.
was always just a fuck up. I think he would do shit that wasn't smart, and right now he's already in trouble again, more than likely. I think he's a fuck up. I don't think he was ever a cheater. Um, to be a guy that, it's documented by the way, that would go out and get fucked up, wasted before a fight and still win, I doubt you'd be disciplined enough to go to a doctor and use like an extremely strategic and well hidden PED routine to where you don't
Yeah,
get caught
bro.
for it. I
And the
just
UFC are not dumb either. Like Dana
yeah.
White don't play with that shit. He don't play with that bullshit.
Yeah,
He's not gonna
I
let
just
his fucking fighters be cheating and all this fake. That fucks him over. That gives him a bad rep. You know what I mean?
yeah, I
He'll put
think
that
that
shit down real quick. Like
Jones, he isn't even that kind of guy to do all that shit. I mean, he's fucking snorting coke and all kinds of stupid shit. I don't think he's going to a doctor and like being
Like
disciplined
Jones
enough
is
to do
just
that.
stupid. That's the
Yeah,
thing. He's just
he's a fuck
stupid.
up.
Again, like he's a
Yeah,
man child. He's a fuck up. That's really all like and it's blatantly obvious. Like this whole
yeah.
like thing of he's cheating, but like he has literally no reason to even hide or do or whatever because he don't even give a fuck. He don't
Nah,
care.
he doesn't give a fuck, man.
Like
Guy like
yeah.
that, he's just ridiculously talented, physically
Like,
talented.
like what I'm getting at, if Jones really was cheating and wanted to cheat, he would give two flying fucks and literally do it, not care if they saw whatever blah, and he'd be like, I don't give a fuck, fuck you
Yeah, and
guys.
I
Like
think
that's literally
he,
what he did. He
yeah,
just literally make it obvious he's fucking cheating,
yeah. If
Like
USADA has vindicated him, I think it's very unlikely, especially with how advanced USADA's testing technologies are. I mean, they could detect amounts that are so small that they're not even ingestible. You could accidentally drink like fucking tap water and if it has a PED in it, they'll fucking catch it, and it's not even your fault,
yeah,
like stuff like that. So
yeah.
I think John Jones is just a fuck. He's a fuck up, man. He always has been. He dismantled Daniel in the first fight. Jones was both times. He was obviously the better fighter. I do really like Daniel Cormier. He's a stand-up guy, one of the greatest as well. But Jones was just the better man. He's a better fighter. Just the better. He was the best of the era, the best of all time, and Daniel just happened to live in his
At
era.
the end of the day, too, it's like if it's really that deep, like they should just fought again too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I'm sorry, like if you really gonna call it for that, it's all right, bet. Like fight right away and immediately then. You know what I mean? Do it
yeah,
again or some
exactly.
shit. You
Yeah,
know?
so I
Like
think Daniel Cormier. I feel bad for him too because he's a great guy, but Jones was just the best of the era. He happened to be a fighter in Jones' era. He's not going to beat the best.
no.
So it is what it is. Jones, I'll admit he left a distasteful taste in a lot of people's mouths with all this bullshit going on. So
Yeah, his
Tom was
character's
just,
trash.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
just his character's always been questionable, and now Tom, because Jones retired, automatically got the belt because he was the interim champion. Um,
Yep.
we can all admit though, the heavyweight division is going to be more boring without Jones in it. Just like when Ngannou
Oh
got
yeah.
left the UFC, it got more boring. Jones is gone, it's going to get more boring. And that's not Tom's fault. I feel bad for Tom for being in this era where Ngannou leaves, so he can't fight him. Jones retires, he can't fight him. It's just unfortunate. It really is
And
unfortunate.
honestly, that's unacceptable. Like Dana
Yeah,
White, he folded there. I don't give
yeah,
a
he
fuck.
folded,
Like he should have been
folded.
pushing for that. He should have been strict with that shit. Yada yada yada. Like I'm sorry, but there should have been something because you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot with that financially,
I agree. Yeah,
entertainment wise. Like even for Tom's legacy or for his reputation. Like, and that's really really unfair for him
that's
because you
fucked
don't
up.
got nobody.
You got
You know what I mean?
nobody.
Like what the fuck you did? Like that's like you know. I'm not gonna say Tom because Tom Brady's actually the GOAT, but that's
Yeah,
like having like a pretty good quarterback or running back or whatever, a wide receiver. Like they're pretty fucking good, right? They're not the best,
yeah,
but they're pretty fucking good, and they're playing in a football era where there's nobody, like
yeah.
everybody's gone. I mean,
This
it's
is
just a bunch
wasted
of
prime.
bums,
Yeah, exactly.
like what the fuck, nobody, so
Yeah, and
that's just
now
crazy.
Tom doesn't have anyone. Like, who the fuck is he gonna fight? Fucking Cyril
Yeah,
gone. Jones took him out in the first round. Curtis Blades, fucking. There's nobody. And to be honest, to give Tom credit, they wasted his prime a little bit. Look, over a fucking year, he was waiting for nothing. Guy Jones is gone.
Yep.
Like, why fuck
Yep.
him like that? I don't understand that's a little fucked
Yeah,
up.
it's unacceptable.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's not. That's he has no fault in that. It was just him waiting for a fight. He was the number one contender, and they just made him wait for nothing. The fucking guy left, and they just now what? The fuck, man? That's crazy. But Conor
Yeah.
McGregor, the honest truth.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor is a fuck up too. I want to say this about Conor McGregor. As far as
Same shit though. You got to give credit when it's due though. Like
yeah,
he was peak at a certain
as
point. At a
far
certain
as
point though, he fell
yeah,
off. Yeah.
as far as popularity and just as far as aura and just business
Yeah.
model aspects, he's the greatest. Not as far as fighting, but
Oh
as
yeah.
far as the business model of a fighter and it mixed martial arts, he's the
Yeah.
greatest by far. He's not even fucking close. Like
Uh-huh.
the amount of draw this guy had was like Ali-esque.
Fucking
Uh,
hilarious too. That dude didn't give a fuck,
yeah, he
bro.
was.
I'm like, regardless if it was like for an act, or for like
Yeah,
that type of business, whatever, whatever it was, if it's truly how he was or not, like that dude was hilarious.
man
I
was a
will say
showman.
that.
Yeah, he was a fucking
But like,
showman.
I don't support it. I don't support all this shit, but it
Yeah.
was funny.
Yeah, he was a showman in his peak. He was, and
Oh,
he had the talent to back it up back then. He was knocking people the
yeah.
fuck out every fight.
Yep.
Had one of the
Eventually, he did
greatest.
get humble. He started getting humble
Yeah,
eventually, but
he started getting
he's
humbled.
definitely no John Jones. He's not
Nah,
no John Jones, that's for sure.
nah, he's not even top
Um,
10 in my opinion as far as talent like
yeah,
fighting.
yeah, facts. Yeah.
But Connor, there's a lot of wasted potential. Again, I think he just
Yep.
once he reached the
I think
pinnacle,
it's because his ego
yeah,
really fucked him.
ego.
You know.
And I think like the great Marvin Hagler always says, it's hard to get up in the morning when you're sleeping in silk sheets. I think that's what happened to Connor after he reached the
Yeah.
level of status that he always wanted. His hunger just started to deplete
It stopped.
after the Aldo fight and arguably after the Alvarez fight. Why even get up in the morning? The guy was at the pinnacle of the sport, making
Has
tons of millions.
millions. Yep.
Yeah, he
Yep.
just had nothing else to fight for, and you could
Like
tell.
he went from being like at the pinnacle to then
Yeah,
like and getting the status he wanted, whatever, blah, and the finance success, whatever, to just being like, you know what, I'm content with this. I'm just gonna be
yeah,
mid now. That's
yeah.
basically what he did.
Basically, yeah, and he's lost hunger, and you could tell it was by his lifestyle. The guy was fucking partying, getting fucked up, and
Dude is
just
acting now.
yeah, acting in movies. And if you want to be the greatest to ever do it, you can't. Jones is an exception. That guy is just insanely talented. He's the only one that could party
Yeah,
and still
Jones,
win.
he's just genetically like he's a
Yeah.
fucking he's an
Well,
character,
we'll
bro.
never see. Yeah, in our lifetime,
Yeah.
probably we'll never even see another Jones. Like that's extremely
Huh.
rare to see something like that. But
Because
Connor
here's the crazy, like Jones, he didn't have to give a fuck. He could literally do whatever he wanted, and he was still that guy. While everyone
still
else
win.
that was the greats or whatever, so and so, they actually earned that shit. Why?
Yeah,
Because they stuck at it. They
insane
were fucking
discipline.
in the trenches, you name it. Yeah, like
Yeah,
they were not, letting their ego get to their head. They weren't being fuck ups. Like they actually like legit really deserved their reputation and their accomplishments. Whatever. Jones though, he was just that guy.
it
Like
is that. Yeah,
like he's basically like Hashirama or Madara. Like it didn't matter. He could just, fuck it, bro. Oh, the Nine Tails? Yeah, fuck it, bitch. Go to
yeah.
sleep. You know what I mean?
He
Like
would literally just get
he's
up
just that
and
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even Jones admitted it. He's like, you know what? When I was in my prime, I would get fucked up on purpose, so I'd have an excuse if I ever lost. I just never did. I was like, bro, what the fuck is that? That's
Bro, like hot, like, man, I'm sorry, but that's like the most like funny comparison, like dead ass. Like Hashirama, I wouldn't even say Madara. Madara did kind of have to work for things and whatnot, but
yeah.
Hashirama though, once he got to that point, like when Madara had MS and EMS, that motherfucker didn't have to train or nothing.
He
He
was just
didn't
that
do
guy.
shit. He could just chill, yeah, yeah. And then he's like, oh, I gotta get okay. I'm gonna fuck you up now. You know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
Nine Tails, go to sleep. Oh, Madara, okay. I'm gonna play with you. Oh, you got the Nine Tails in your perfect Susana. Okay, Sage, my bye, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
bro, literally, Hashirama is John Jones, basically. That's literally what John Jones was. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't have to
exactly.
take shit seriously. He was
He
the
really didn't.
god of UFC.
He was just that good. That's very
Yeah.
insanely rare because then you look at the other
The
greats.
god of
they're-
Shinobi, baby.
Yeah, literally. It's very rare. Thoughts on the NBA Finals? I actually enjoyed the NBA Finals. It went to I think this is the first one that went to Game 7 in like a few years, if I'm not mistaken. New teams, new faces. SGA is a great player, a rising star, and OKC. I liked it. I thought it was a new change in pace. We are seeing the death of dynasties and the end of many greats' careers. LeBron, Curry, Durant,
Mhm.
Harden. You know,
Yep.
a lot of these great guys are getting older, and they're starting to decline in ability. You know, like Jordan did in the late '90s, or Shaq in the
Yep.
late '90s, Kobe in the late in the the mid 2000s, 2010s. It's just the cycle of life. So it was nice to
You wanna know
see.
what's crazy though?
Yeah,
Like, even with all those people, and then, like, in people currently, still feel like nobody's really, like, came in the spotlight
I
or,
agree.
like, being discussed or being, like, discussed as, like, the next Michael Jordan, like,
There
legacy,
hasn't.
right? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I feel like the closest is LeBron. That's, like, the closest, but even
yeah.
he is, like, contentious, right? Like, even
It's
people,
contentious.
they go
Yeah,
back and forth, like, it's not nothing like, it's not as obvious, like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, like, this guy is the next like Michael Jordan of this era, right?" I mean, like
yeah.
he's that motherfucking guy. Like you know, like for you got Hashira Madara, and then eventually you had Naruto and Sasuke, right? You know, which
It
like
was
kind of
clear.
took.
Yeah.
We haven't gotten the next Michael Jordan. I feel like that
Uh-uh.
still has not happened yet. You
It
know what I mean?
hasn't. And
You
so we
know,
had Jordan.
so
So like if we go to the very beginning, like
yeah,
from what I can remember, we have like Russell and Wilt Chamberlain. Then we have Magic Johnson, you know, the Lakers, Larry Bird. Then
yep,
Jordan came. He fucking dominated like the late '80s, early '90s.
yep.
Then Kobe and
But
Shaq. Then
Kobe,
Yeah,
yep.
Kobe. Then LeBron came around. Then he dominated for about the early 2010s, and then after that,
Kobe was also really close too. He
he
was
was close.
technically like the copycat of Michael
Yeah,
Jordan. You know what I mean?
they call him the carbon
He
copy
was
of
like the
Jordan.
Kashi Hatake, that
Yeah,
motherfucker, basically.
literally, he's Sharingan
Um,
fucking Jordan. There's no doubt about
Literally shotgun the
that. Yeah,
fuck at him. You know
he's
what I mean? Like,
Sharingan,
and
bro.
he was also really close, but again, like they weren't able to accomplish like that. You know that
That
like
level.
that blatant,
Yeah,
objective or obvious, like where nobody would even like doubt or even try to argue. But like, yeah, no, like yeah, it's Michael Jordan again, 2.0. You know,
yeah,
they got the closest, but that's it. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
like eventually, what you had like the Miami, you had like Dwayne Wade and shit, you
Dwayne,
know, and things like
yeah,
that, whatever. But oh, you had
LeBron's
like
Heat.
Derrick Rose,
That
you
guy had
know,
so much
shit like that
potential.
too. But yeah,
Yeah,
before he got injured, honestly, I feel like Rose maybe could have done it if
his
he didn't get
athleticism.
injured.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
athleticism before the
I
injury was fucking ridiculous. It was like,
I think he might have done that. Don't quote me, you know what I mean? Because if
yeah,
LeBron couldn't even fucking,
yeah.
even though I feel like LeBron is the closest out of anybody, you know what I
He
mean?
is, he is.
And that's like because of his scores, his accomplishments. That's
His
why I'm
longevity.
saying with in that
Yeah.
regard. Obviously, the exact copycat was, Kobe.
Yeah,
But
Kobe was like a carbon copy,
you know,
fucking carbon
yeah,
copy of
you know.
Jordan. Yeah,
So, like, so again, like, it's that's what I'm really waiting for. I feel like basketball is gonna really go crazy when someone emerges and becomes the next fucking Jordan, basically.
yeah.
You know what I
There
mean?
needs to be another.
And when I
Yeah,
say Jordan, I'm not talking about like your points or feats or because again, we have LeBron, and even
LeBron.
he's still not considered, or it's contentious or people argue who's better, blah blah. Like
Yeah,
I'm talking about like a guy that can not only do the points, the feats, okay, and play like in any way or similar to Jordan, but on top of it, have like a legacy and like a fucking, to where it's just no question period, where he's either greater or
yeah,
he's the 2.0 Jordan. Like
yeah.
I'm
We
waiting
need.
for that,
It's so rare, and I
So
think to reach
yeah.
that aura and dominance, it's. I mean, it's the reason why.
Honestly, it's a question, Jay. Like, is it even
Yeah,
possible?
yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
It's gonna be so
Like,
difficult to do. Like it
yeah,
right now, there definitely isn't anyone. There's no new generation player that's even seen in the same
yeah.
light. Not even like compared. No one's even compared to like rookie Jordan when he was still like a fucking youngster.
Another thing too, like Jordan came from the trenches. He
Yeah,
fucking struggled, like the way
his
he
team was
like the
dog
grind,
shit.
like
His team
there's
was
that
dog shit.
too. Yeah.
His team was so
So
ass when he first got there to fucking
yeah.
Chicago. The team
Like
was
even
fucking terrible.
the emotional narrative value that Jordan even had,
Yeah,
like like as an iconically and whatnot, and all of that, like and the whole thing with like failure to success and but like
yeah,
I'm telling like bro, honestly, it might not be possible, or it's gonna
yeah.
take decades for someone to be the next
Decades.
2.0 Jordan,
As far
So
as aura and legacy and overall greatness, LeBron's the closest. And some can argue that he is above Jordan. But right now, there's
yeah,
no
facts,
one.
yeah,
There's no one. There's nobody. And LeBron's
yeah.
already on the tail end of his career. He might max. I think he has like 2 years
Oh yeah,
left
he's
max.
getting old, man. He
Uh,
gotta hang it up.
he's almost
Yeah,
40.
he's getting
He's
old.
about to be 40.
Yep.
So His time's
And
up.
I'm gonna say this: LeBron's son, from what we've been seeing, so I'm sorry, but that's not
He's
true.
not gonna be him.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
it's
yeah,
more.
no,
It's more
I'm sorry.
unlikely.
He's young too, like, and he's had like, no, I'm sorry.
Nah, but
Like, look what everybody else has done at that same age.
yeah,
Come
like
on,
rookie Jordan, rookie
like,
Braun, rookie Kobe,
yeah.
they're already killing it. Like they're killers already.
Yeah.
So
And also like I don't really like I don't really think that's like he could probably eventually get to the point how like LeBron is eventually with like a certain amount of training, whatever, but he's not gonna be no like, to the same extent or legacy even as all of them, and
yeah,
obviously no fucking Jordan either, you know.
nah, nah,
What I think it's gonna be, because obviously in time, humans genetically, because evolution, whatever, blah, it's get like in time, like genetically and like just like athletically someone would just be so fucking gifted and talented
yeah,
where they're gonna surpass Jordan. It's
it's gonna
inevitable.
happen.
That
It's
will
inevitable.
happen
Yeah,
biologically. Yeah.
yeah, it will.
Biologically, that is gonna fucking happen to where, like they have way more championships in a row, right? Or they have all his blah blah whatever, and yada yada yada. Like I could see like someone surpassing him in those regards, but again, what I'm getting at is the legacy spotlight. Like the
Yeah,
where it's without question, oh yeah, this is a fucking Jordan 2.0. Oh yeah, there's a whole business with this guy, a whole fucking, you know what I mean? Like a
yeah.
whole thing, like,
His
and
entire
that's what
aura
I'm
is
really,
like,
really
yeah,
waiting. Yeah, aura,
it's
man, so
uncontested. It's uncontested. I mean, this guy he
yeah.
was basketball. I mean,
Bro, he
fucking
started all the shoes, like everything, the Jordan shoe,
Nike.
all that shit. Yeah,
The NBA,
you
the not just the NBA, but basketball culture. Like he revolutionized
yeah.
fucking culture. Like it's fucking crazy
NBA
how.
went crazy because of Jordan. He was
Uh,
that's what I was looking for. He was the name of NBA,
yeah,
basically. You
he
know what I mean?
was the
Like
NBA.
the
Uh,
Hashirama of NBA. Here, I'll throw
yeah,
that in there again.
facts.
The
I know.
god of basketball.
Yeah,
You
he's like the
know?
greatest, and the only guy that compares that people could debate against is Braun. That's the only one.
LeBron.
The only
LeBron is
guy.
either better or at least just debatably like contentious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, so like again, like, that's what I'm waiting for. And I'm telling
yeah.
you, when that does happen, basketball is gonna go crazy.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna,
basketball's gonna fucking
it's gonna
skyrocket.
go crazy.
Yeah, it's definitely
Yep.
gonna skyrocket.
So
Top five strongest tuning in in the exams. We've talked about this before, but off the top of
yeah.
my head, I guess Ninetale enhanced Naruto, Gara, Sasuke
But
Lee.
yeah, if it's like if there's no rules, right? And it's like it depends on what you're getting at too. Like if it
Yeah,
rules in
with
place where they're
rules is
not.
different.
So I'll go with like no rules first. If it's no rules, Gara slams any of them. Like
Yeah,
nobody's
facts,
beating a fucking full transformation. You know what I mean? Like all that.
facts.
If anything, the only one that has the best chance whatsoever is literally Naruto, right? Because he
Naruto.
technically does. But you got to remember, Naruto had the push and drive because of Sakura and Sasuke being there.
Yeah,
In this scenario, he's just fighting, right? In a battle, whatever. It might not be the same where
might
he
not have
doesn't have the
resolve.
same push and he can't,
Yeah,
the resolve, he won't be able to replicate. Because if anything, if you actually analyze how Naruto was in character, even if they're both bloodlusted, he was scared of Gaara. He was
yeah,
fucking scared. He was getting mentally nerved. He was conflicted, the whole nine. And it was because of Sakura and Sasuke where he's like, all right, I got to do shit, and get the mental amp, the plot narrative shit. And then do all the crazy shit he did, and whatnot. And thankfully, Jiraiya also taught him the frog summoning. That's the only reason he got that far, you
yeah.
know.
That was a big
Um,
help.
yeah, so like at the end of the day, like Gara, without a question, if it's like bloodlust, no rules, Gara is absolutely number one. Now I will say, no, because he would just transform. Like I'm sorry, he's not gonna play around with Sasuke like he did in the rule match. Like it to where he gets hit by the Shidori because he's like having, this dude just do what he can. Like no, Gara's gonna see how strong he is. He's like, yeah, this guy's no joke. I'm not taking chances. I'm transforming and I'm gonna kill you. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, facts.
that's what he did. Dozu. He did it with fucking Dozu. Like he's like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, I can see you about it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna kill you. Um, and that's the way I see it. So I'd say like Gara. If this might hurt the Neji and Lee fans, but if you have the scaling with Sasuke and you think he's a certain level, whatnot, and blah blah blah, which is technically the majority and the high percentage of everyone too,
yeah,
then I would say it's Sasuke.
yeah. I
And
agree.
I'm sorry, but like, for one, the scaling arguments are there, right? And then Naruto has no Rising Gun. There's no way he can counter a Chidori. Even if you argue and say like Naruto's relative in a way, or maybe even equal, which that's fine. I don't even have a problem with that, speed wise, whatever. Naruto has no response for Chidori. You know what
Yeah,
I
this
mean? So like
version of
he's
him
just
has no
cooked, you
response.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah, and like and if Gara not Gara, if Sasuke lands it in his fucking heart, he's dead. You know
he's
what I mean?
cooked. Yeah,
Like
he's fucked.
yeah,
Yeah, he'd
he's
be fucked.
dead, you know? So that's why I have Sasuke second place. Third place, again, if we're talking bloodlust and no rules, um and we're talking about final exams, right?
I think.
Like
Yeah,
not in the preliminary.
yeah. I guess
Yeah,
we could say
if it's
finals. Yeah,
yeah, if it's final, then Neji, right? I'm sorry, but Neji was beating the dog shit out of fucking Naruto, bro.
he was beating the
It was
fuck out
only
of him.
because of yeah, it was only because of in character. He was like he kept letting him get up. He was talking shit, you know, the whole failure and and destiny bullshit and whatnot. Neji was blatantly over Naruto. Even
Yeah,
when Neji was fatigued and mentally conflicted, he was still going blow for blow with QB Naruto, who got
QB. Yeah,
fucking amped. His stamina and chakra back, everything healed.
yeah.
And he still almost won that shit. So like, so definitely Neji. Um, Other than that, honestly, I feel like the most contentious shit is between Naruto, Tamari, and Shikamaru and Kankuro and Shino. How do you think all that goes, Jay? Like, what do you say on all that? You
Tamari
know, like
Shikamaru.
like Shikamaru and Tamari still happens, right? So
Yeah,
obviously Shikamaru, no, Tamari goes. So it really boils down to honestly, well, yeah, Shino and Kankuro first. Like if it's in that situation, do you think it's the same thing, or do
I
you think
think. Yeah, I
like
think Shino would. They're very relative to each other, obviously.
yeah,
I
very
think
well to yeah.
Shino's arsenal is just a good counter to
Good
Conqueror's.
counter.
Yeah, very good
Fucks up
counter,
the
and he just
and
happens
and
to be very
and
calculated
he
too.
can't hide either because they're not in the
Yeah,
forest where there's all those trees and bushes. It's
yeah,
very open. Like there's the trees like behind the arena, but
yeah,
it's not nowhere near how the like. I honestly I think Conqueror's fucked. He has
yeah.
nowhere to hide.
No, no
It
hiding. Yeah,
doesn't take you to be a genius. Like even if Conqueror goes to hide at the trees behind, Sheen's like, okay, yeah, he's behind those trees. Let me go send my bugs, right? While in the
yeah,
forest, he had to find him the whole time, or eventually like get close to him and land a female bug, and then even if he hit, he could catch him off guard and kill him.
yeah. Facts.
Like it only really got to that point because of the environment. Like the terrain was extremely beneficial for Conqueror. So
Yeah,
I agree. I feel like Shino would he definitely have the advantage because of the terrain, and then he just fuck him up. Like it's
yeah.
just
Terrain
better,
definitely
right?
matters. Definitely matters. If
Yeah,
it's like you said, open land and an exam setting.
yeah,
Yeah, Conqueror can't evade at all. He only has the
yeah.
setting
No,
that open land and he's
and,
cooked because of the
and in
insects
that
should get him.
arena, it's open as fuck. There's only
Yeah,
trees in the back.
yeah,
And the only reason why we know that is because Shikamaru, he would have lost immediately to Tamaru, but thankfully there was some trees there in the back, and so he immediately hid behind that to use
yeah.
as cover and cushion the blows, and then he was able to strategize.
Strategize.
But with Conqueror, that's not going to work because the bugs. I mean, he
Yeah,
could just send those bugs, and he's cooked. So
yeah.
yeah, Conqueror, and not only that, Shino is definitely above Conqueror because he's still forced to stalemate with a disadvantage and with the terrain on top of it. That's
Exactly.
impressive.
Yeah,
He's more
exactly.
smarter. He forced a stalemate. So like even though people say it's a stalemate, which yeah, technically it is objective, but if you really analyze, Shino technically got the dub. If
Yeah,
you
he has
really
a slight
analyze it.
victory. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so yeah, I agree. So yeah, so Shino still moves up. Then you got um Naruto is not even in the equation because he lost in his right. It's bloodlust. He's not fucking around and shit.
Yeah.
So like then honestly it boils down, it boils down to Neji, Sasuke, Tamari, and Shino. Um, what
Between
what do you
those
think about all those?
guys,
How
bloodlusted.
do
I
you?
think the main problem for Sasuke would be at least at that point is his curse mark would
He
be a
has one
problem.
story left.
Yeah, he has
Yep,
one Chidori.
he
His
has one
curse mark
story.
is a
Yep.
problem. I think Neji probably is the overall superior, and like most likely. I
Like
mean,
at that point,
Sasuke could
because he's
win.
fatigued and shit. Yeah, he
Yeah,
could.
he could win, but
Like because they're yeah, because the thing is Neji won't be fatigued because he'll immediately subdue and beat Naruto. Like there it
yeah,
just he's done. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
while Sasuke, oh see actually we're kind of tripping. Technically Gara would be fighting against
Oh, facts.
Neji,
Yeah,
Tamari,
yeah,
and yeah,
yeah.
because we're talking about no rules and bloodlusted. What's it? I'm sorry, I don't see Curse Mark Sasuke beating full transformation Gara either.
Nah, he'd get
There's
cooked.
no,
He'd be
that's not
fucked.
happening. Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, we'll take Sasuke out of there. We're about to talk about all that in character, but we're talking about no. So yeah, so it boils down to Gara, Neji, Tamari, and Shino.
yeah. Gara's
So
just
I
he's
guess
just so dominant.
yeah, he's just so dominant. That's the problem.
Yeah,
Honestly, yeah. Honestly, it just boils down to Gara coming in the victor in the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it really does.
Like maybe Neji could pull, but bro, like, all right, if it's like the V2 Shikaku, I could maybe see Neji somehow figuring, like, you know what I mean? Like, if Naruto could do a kunai and paper bomb, you know what I mean? With the
Yeah.
one weak point, you know, I could definitely see Neji like replicating that or doing like his gentle fist to like the weak point and fucking shit up, you know? But again, Gara can at any point in time transform to the full Biju.
And then he's
You know,
cooked.
like
Yeah.
he
Then he
could
can't even
just
touch him
yeah,
at
he
that
can win.
point.
Yeah, like nobody can fuck with him. So like, yeah. Long story short, we're just trying to make this more cool and entertaining for you guys.
Yeah.
Gara takes it, bloodlust, no rules. Now, if it is the rules, right, and let's say it's not interrupted, that's why I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I Gara he actually loses. Sasuke actually pushes through, right? Because when he got hit with the Chidori, he couldn't fight in it. Well, technically, no, I don't remember. Jake, did he immediately pass out, or was he still good?
I think Shikara. Let's see. After once it was
I don't fucking remember,
interrupted,
man.
I know he was in his shit screaming, and then fucking
Yeah, because he was like,
yeah,
and he had like his hand to his chest, and he was like
yeah.
breathing hard.
He's
He
all
was
like,
awake still. They just took him away, you
yeah.
know.
They took him away, I think, and
Um,
then they kind of
yeah,
like
but they're not
told
gonna let
him,
him. But he lost. Like they're not gonna let him transform. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's cheating. You know.
yeah,
So yeah, Gara loses. Yeah, he's out. So Sasuke takes it. Then you have yeah, that Naruto would obviously win too, right? You know, because Neji's being a fucking retard.
yeah.
So that won't change. Naruto wins, Tamari obviously wins, Shino wins. So yeah, it's just Sasuke, Naruto, Tamari, and Shino. How do you think all that plays out?
Man, I guess it'd be the matchups would be pretty interesting. See what they pit up against each
Be
other.
very interesting.
Yeah,
Like
Sheen.
what about do you think they're I don't remember the tournament diaphragm. I don't know who would be who.
Yeah,
You know, depending on that. So like we'll just mix it up then. Let's say Naruto and Sasuke. I think Naruto loses. I
yeah.
just
I
don't
think he
see it,
he would probably
you know?
lose. He would need to like have almost a full transformation or like a V1 or something to have a
Yeah.
chance, and they'd
Because they're
probably
both
stop
going to
him.
be fatigued. So they're
Yeah,
both fatigued. You know what I
both
mean?
fatigued.
And yeah, Sasuke has one Chidori, but he's not going to need. I don't think he needs Chidori for Naruto. I really
Not for
don't think so.
Naruto. Not for Naruto.
At
No, I
that
think.
point in time, like yeah, like he did acknowledge Naruto. Like there was like that narrative implicate, like oh, and normally when that happens, that means like they're on a pretty similar play field, right? So again, there might be like relativity, but I do really think Sasuke was the superior at that point in time.
Yeah.
Still, it took for Naruto to get that rising on training. You know what I mean?
So that close the gap.
Like
Yeah.
be yeah to close that fucking gap or the exception to the rule, the mental and bullshit. You know.
Yeah. I think.
So yeah, so Sasuke would push that, right? You know?
Yeah, I think he'd take him more than likely. I think he was more refined than Naruto. I thought, like, as a
Yeah.
shinobi, he was more refined.
Yeah, yeah.
He was
So
more
then
efficient. Uh,
so then you got Shino and Tamari. I think
oh
that's really cool.
shit, that
You know?
one's interesting. The fucking wind against the
Honestly, I
fucking
think
bugs.
Tamari is a hard counter though.
Yeah, the
Because
wind. That's
can,
the
can you
problem.
just blow the bugs away? Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean?
Uh,
Like,
and
and
there's
then
only so
like the
much.
wind style, like it's not really that unless correct me if I'm wrong, Jay, but from like every time you see her, it doesn't really gas her out either. Like she spams the fuck out of
She
that
spams
shit.
the fuck out of it. Yeah, and if
Yeah. You
and there's
know,
only so much chakra Shino has. So if all his bugs are getting slaughtered and shit, then
yeah, Shino doesn't have good stamina. That we do know
uh,
because when he was going, he was getting gassed out with Conqueror. You know,
yeah,
even though the terrain was rough, blah blah. You know, like because I'm gonna be honest, like this Shino that's stepping into the fight with Tamari, he's not gonna be like super fatigued. Like he's gonna beat Conqueror pretty quickly. You know, it'll be like a low diff fight. You know what I mean? Like not a
low
no diff,
diff.
but a low diff. You know,
Yeah,
so he won't be like gassed out. Now Tamari, she'll be more fatigued though because she did have a long ass fight with Shikamaru, but she's gonna still have some win styles ready. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like so.
That's a
Um,
he'd
I
have to like
it's a tough
he'd
one.
have to
Yeah,
strategize to beat her, like have insects
yeah.
underground or something. That's the only way to
Like
really.
he can do it. I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's
he can.
impossible. Like me,
Yeah,
if he gets like a bug somehow on her, you know, or if it sneaks up and shit, you know. But see, the problem though is she's gonna see how he fights against Conqueror, right? And
yeah.
have like that intel. And so she's gonna basically have a feel for she's gonna have the intel advantage too. You know what I mean? So she's gonna
She
be
is.
looking out for like the bug and so that's kind of the problem. Like I don't know. I don't think he'd be able to pull it off because for one, she'd be a hard counter technically, and then two, she's gonna have intel on top of it. But
Yeah, I
that's
think
just
more
me
than
though.
likely
You know?
she'd win. Yeah, because with all she'd
Yeah, I
know
think
of
it
like
boils down. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
like I think it boils down at the end of the day just between Sasuke and Tamari. And I'm gonna be real with you, if this Sasuke still got a Shidori, He'd beaten Tamari.
Yeah, I think like and
Like,
basically every
uh,
she had nothing besides her win to keep him away for a while. That's it.
yeah.
And I
And,
think
if
Sasuke,
and at that point, she might only have like 2 or 3 shots left of win style too. Because she's
yeah,
gonna be very gassed out at that point, you know.
yeah,
What's it called? And because of Sasuke's Sharingan, like he could just see the wind style and just move accordingly, right? And then move and then hit it with a Chidori. Even if you think he needed a Chidori, excuse me, even if you think he needed a Chidori for Naruto, whether or not if Naruto like summons the Nine Tails Chakra again, some bullshit, or what's it called, or whatever, you know, if there's somehow he's competitive in some regard, even if he does waste it, I still think he would beat her. And another thing, if you count the anime on top of it, it's anime only, but he did fight Tamari. And this is when he was fatigued and he beat her with paper bombs. Just with a
yeah,
paper bomb substitution strategy, you know?
yeah. She's
So
just not on that
yeah.
caliber. I mean, she's struggling with Shikamaru,
Yeah.
whose intelligence the only reason why he was as competitive. Sasuke is just on another level as a shinobi. I think overall
Facts, man, you know.
yeah,
So
more than
yeah.
likely he
So
would probably beat her.
so
Uh,
long story short, guys, we want to make it cool for you, but Sasuke basically takes it. He's the victor for with rules and
the rules,
and
yeah.
not being interrupted. Like if what if the tuning exams wasn't interrupted? If it was bloodlusted, then we said Gara. You know,
Yeah,
so
it's pretty clear that he'd fucking win. Yeah, if it was
yeah,
bloodlusted, he's too dominant with fucking Shikaku. There are
just
some
broken.
questions. Yeah, he's too broken. There's some questions that were asked. Where is it at? So a question that was asked before the stream: what if Neji survives and awakens Tensagon? What role do you want him to have in Boruto? And where would he scale? So the Tensagon,
Oh
I
shit.
believe, is what I think is what Hinata had in the last movie when she gained like
Yeah,
Hamura's chakra.
like
Like
he took her eyes. Yeah, and then
yeah.
he got that shit. Yeah.
So if I was Neji, he would just be stronger. He's already in base stronger than Hinata. He'd be a stronger version of Hinata. Um,
Yeah.
and the role he would have, I mean, he'd have Otsutsuki level abilities at his disposal
Yeah.
with the Tensagon.
Honestly, he'd be
Um,
just as much of a threat as Sasuke and Naruto at that point because
yeah,
Naruto was going blow for blow with that dude. Like he didn't have to go fully all out, like he didn't need an avatar and all that shit, or he had to like do all his fucking shadow clones or spamming Ryzen should have getting Bija bombs, you know, or anything. He didn't have to go like that crazy like he did with Sasuke, you know, or
yeah,
everybody else. He basically just pulled like a delta with that dude on the moon.
yeah,
But
facts.
that's
Yeah,
still impressive. That's still very impressive. Like so Neji would definitely be 6 path tier at that point,
yeah, he'd be
right?
six past tier, no doubt.
And he'd be like the third strongest, basically. He'd be the
Yeah,
third strongest,
and
you
maybe
know.
he would help against some of the threats they faced over Boruto's narrative. He obviously would be
I don't
fodder
think it changed
now.
anything. I don't think it
Yeah,
changes anything though. Like even if
yeah, no, no, no,
like
yeah,
for yeah, so like let's say like we take the Boruto storyline, like okay, now you have Neji, Naruto, and Sasuke versus Jigen. That's not changing anything, man.
yeah,
Like
no, nothing
it's
would
gonna make
change.
it more harder. If anything, it'll just push Jiren, not fucking tripping, Jigen, what's it called, to go to V2 Karma 2 immediately, right? Like
Yeah,
he'll probably be, yeah, actually I can't because at a certain point Sasuke and Naruto did force him to go to Karma too. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because the way it started, they were like, they were fighting, whatever. He's like in base, okay, and then it gets a little difficult. He goes to Karma 1, he's like fucking them up. Then they go full power, and then he has to go Karma 2, you know?
yeah,
So so like with Neji on top of it, I feel like he just go Karma 2 right off the get, and he's just slamming. And honestly,
yeah,
it's worse. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Because he's not gonna be as gassed out as he was because they had a pretty extensive fight
He
you
did.
know?
Yeah, it was pretty extensive.
It just like he's gonna basically just gonna rush. He's not gonna pull a Mata, right? He's not gonna be fucking around. He just immediately be like, "Oh, I gotta end this shit. If I play around, I'm gonna get fucked up," you know?
Yeah,
Because Neji, Gentle Fist, and 6 path scaling with that fucking green chakra, like Kurama cloak too on top, like that's no joke, man. You know what I mean? So he can't fuck around, you know? So
no, he can't fuck around. He would just be
yeah, so
more
yeah,
cutthroat.
he'll just be more cutthroat. Like basically, like imagine Mater, like where he hold back against the 5 Kage and shit. You know why not? Like let's say like if like someone was there, like I don't know, like Minato, right? Or
Yeah,
someone that like he really had to be careful. He's not gonna take chances. He's
no,
immediately
no,
going to
yeah,
perfect system. You know what I mean? Like he's
exactly.
not fucking around at that point. Like so that's basically what we're getting at. Like
Yeah,
when someone's there to give you more of a push where you can't really play around, like you're gonna get serious.
yeah. There's like
And that's
margin for
basically what
error.
happens. So
Yeah,
yeah, so nothing would change. It's the same result. If anything, Neji actually might die right. oh, right there and then, that actually might be a good opportunity for Kishimoto just to kill him there.
Yeah, he
If
probably
we're
would
being
die there,
honest.
honestly. Unless
Yeah, he
Naruto
probably
like
would. Like
unless
either
Sasuke
with
teleports
Jigen or
him or some
Shiki.
shit. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
He'd
you
probably
know.
be eliminated. And he's close quarter type
Yeah.
of fighter anyway. Like he'd be in dangerous waters, up
Yep.
close like
You
that.
know.
So, what's going
That's what I'm
on?
saying.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
What's going on, Raspberry? Jones definitely abused roids. He hid under the octagon for 24 hours from USADA testers. So I'll say this. I think Jones abused, and probably still does, abused alcohol and drugs. That I'm pretty definitive on. As far as
Yeah.
roids, there's just I just go based off what USADA said. There's never been a at least to my knowledge, a performance enhancing amount of drugs in his system that's ever been found. Again, that doesn't prove he
Yeah.
didn't take them. There's still like microdosing, but I think Jones' character, he's just not that disciplined to even go through all
There's
that.
nothing concrete. There's nothing
Uh,
that indicates the high
it's all
probability of
speculative.
it. Like
Uh,
it's all speculative.
I
It
think
can
he's
go
just a
either
fuck
way.
up. I think he probably hit under the octagon
Yeah.
because he probably just did a line of coke or some shit, and he would have tasted positive for that.
And
So
guys, you also got to think about this. When you're that good at something, if there is any room remotely for someone to see something and spin it off, people are gonna spin a fucking narrative in a heartbeat to try to tarnish your reputation
exactly,
or make some logical, or try to spin some logical explanation of why like you really aren't him, blah blah. It's called it's envy. You know what I mean? It's
it's envy.
egos, it's
Yeah,
envy, it's business, it's greed, it's jealousy. Like so at the end of the day, that's really the way I see it. Like again, if Jones was really a fraud, right? That's what we're basically saying. What's in question, right? Oh, he's a fraud. He's cheating, or whatever, right? If he
yeah,
really was, that shit would have been exposed. Dana
yeah,
would not risk that. That would fuck him over. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like that make him look bad. They would lose sponsors. They would lose profits. Like it's a whole negative domino effect. Everybody gets fucked from that.
exactly.
Um, and most importantly, because of and how John Jones is in character, he doesn't sugarcoat you. He don't give a fuck.
Nah, yeah,
Like he'll
he
he'll do what he wants or say what he wants.
he's not a
Like, he's
calculated.
not.
Yeah, he's not a calculated person. I mean, he's fucking up all the
Yeah,
time.
he's
Like,
not like a Orochimaru. He's not like some snake or a secretive weirdo, or some
uh,
bullshit too fit. That's not how he is. He's very, very upfront.
yeah, outside
So
of the octagon, he's not. His IQ is not that good. He's
yeah,
just not a calculated
it's just
person.
again, I feel like there's a lot more evidence. Like I will admit it is contentious, right? But if you really analyze it as a whole, I feel like it's just unlikely in a majority of regards, right? Narratively for the UFC, negative domino effect, business, how John Jones is, et cetera, et cetera. Like it's more of the other way, against, I would say.
Yeah,
So, but that's
I think
all.
I even know. I think I said this before. I have a relative that worked at Jackson Wink's gym. He was like a trainer or something. He hung out with Jones, and he said like, yeah, Jones was a
Yeah.
fucking. He was a fucking man child, bro. He was fucking immature. Like he's a fucking kid.
Yeah.
Like, and he saw
And,
him
and honestly,
firsthand.
what do you expect when
Uh,
nobody can fuck with you or stop you? How else do you think you're gonna act? You know
yeah.
what I
He
mean?
even said that in New
Like,
Mexico, like where he trained, he was a god there. Like everyone would fucking kiss his ass and fucking like he was the
Bro,
guy. The
bro,
guy.
what can
Like,
you do? Like if you're the guy and nobody can fuck with you or beat you, right? You're gonna do whatever you're gonna act
what the
like a
fuck you want?
child and be
Uh,
immature and blah blah. You don't gotta be humble. You don't gotta be morally, just or whatever because you don't have to, right? Like it's unfortunate. I don't agree with it, right?
yeah.
I think you're more of a man and you even become a greater and better fighter if you don't underestimate your opponents or not be
Disciplined.
egotistic,
Yeah.
toxic, egotistical, right? Like
Yeah.
there's a healthy egotistical and there's a toxic. It
Yeah,
basically what I'm
I
getting at,
agree.
right? Like,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, like I think it's definitely more beneficial, definitely more better character, morally, the whole knot, right? So, but again, and it's just life itself. It's for anything, right?
For
This could
anything
be for
up.
people that are rich, for sports, whatever. If you have that and nobody can fuck with you, if you got that power, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna be a shitty fucking person
You're a
or
tyrant.
fighter.
Yeah,
10 times. Yep.
exactly.
So
We've seen those,
but
and not just sports, but in life. Like some
yeah,
tyrants
life.
like tyrants that have been exposed lately. Diddy, tyrant. Jeffrey Epstein was a
Yeah.
tyrant. Uh,
Yep.
you know, kings that have fallen over human history, tyrants. Like they think they're untouchable.
Bro, look at Elon Musk and Trump. They had a fallout
Yeah,
because of
egos. Exactly. Yeah,
egos.
they it's something that we see all the time. And Jones just
All the time.
he even to this day you could argue he's still a tyrant. Like he's still
Yeah.
he the power he wields because of his talent. He takes it for granted. I mean, he takes it for granted, and that's why he's fucked up so much in his life. Crime
Yep.
and his wife and all kinds of shit that he's done. It's just because of where he's at, and I think it's a character flaw. It really is.
Yeah, yeah.
That
Like
yeah, I'll
yeah,
never dispute that. He's a fuck up. I mean, I'll never
yeah.
dispute
But
that.
like if he didn't have the talent he had, you know what I mean, and if he didn't have the money and all that shit, whatnot, he wouldn't be like that.
He would have
He'd
been
be
kicked a
humble.
long
You know what I mean?
time
He'd
ago
be
from the UFC.
humble. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, he would have been kicked. Oh, I'm talking about like all I'm getting at is like if the talent wasn't there, let's say he was in like mid tier, or let's say even if he like was a legend, right? But not like how he is, right? You know what I mean? Like to where he's just
yeah,
unstoppable, nobody can fuck with him.
unbeatable.
If he
Yeah,
at least had limits, you know, like and he was technically beatable, but very rarely, right? You know, I do feel like yeah, then he'd probably be a lot more humble, right? You know, or he have at least some good character, maybe be willing to change and grow and not be doing the same bullshit. But again, you don't have there's no incentive to do that if you got it. I mean, and you know,
exactly.
that's just life, you know.
Yeah, that's just the
So
way it is. Base Hashran versus Tsunade and Tobarama. Hashran was slammed. I mean, it's not having a fight.
yep,
Reikage A versus Tobarama. That one's interesting. Tobarama in his prime, I think
yeah,
he's above Sani. I'll give him that at least.
yeah.
A speed is what's the problem, obviously.
Yeah,
Uh,
like anytime Toby Rama tries to like fuck with him physically, he
yeah,
won't be able to, and he's gonna learn that the hard way. Like he's gonna do a shadow clone prob, you know, and he's gonna be like, all right, this
engage with
guy is
him.
just faster
Yeah,
than me, right? And he's gonna be spamming like flying Raijin and shit to avoid him, but he won't be able to like. It's basically like, again, it's like when like Minato with Sage on charge at Jubi Madara, like yeah, the flying Raijin got him there, and Jubi Madara couldn't do shit about the flying Raijin. But the moment he was there and he had to try to throw a Rising on, he fucking shitted on him. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so if Tobarama tries to do that shit, he's more than likely getting fucked though. You know what I mean? Especially
yeah.
if it's in close range, because you even have less time to react, whatever physically, you know, and whatnot. Like that's why like Five Kage Summit Sasuke, like he was going toe to toe with V1 Raikage, but the moment V1 Raikage was in his face, he blitzed him.
He
He
blitzed him.
immediately blitzed Sasuke. He couldn't
Yeah,
move at a distance with precog. He could fuck with him, but the moment he got in his face, he got blitzed
exactly.
instantaneously. You know,
Yeah,
and mind you, Sasuke in character is very calculated, very intelligent. He would never just want to be grabbed and put at risk to be killed. You know what I mean? He's gonna
exactly.
jump away, move away. You know, strategize. He's get whatever, blah blah. You know, like look at the data of fight, very very calculated. You know,
Yeah,
so that Raikage when he got blitz, that's because he couldn't do shit. It's like it's very extremely unlikely for you. Like if you're trying to argue that oh he just let it happen, you know, or because oh well yes it's Susato, so yeah he didn't care. Like no, come on, bro. Like if you
yeah,
analyze it all as a whole, that's just not how Sasuke fights. He doesn't take risks like that, you know.
exactly.
And the only reason why he didn't die was because of the Susanoo. You know, and even the Cloud Ninja said that was the first time anybody has ever survived the lightning bomber, you know, technique, you know.
Yeah,
So overall, like the speed discrepancy, I absolutely agree with Jay. That's a problem.
that's the main
Like
problem.
I feel like unless you like disagree, Jay, but like I feel like the only way Tobirama can come on top is if he somehow strategizes with it. Because I do think he's smarter than A, right?
Yeah, he definitely
If he
smarter.
somehow,
Yeah,
yeah, if he somehow strategizes in correlation with his flying Raijin to not get tagged, right? So he has to spam that, and then somehow figures out something to surpass that cloak, that V2 cloak,
yeah,
then maybe, you know what I mean? But the only thing I could see Tobirama really fucking him up with is like the infinite paper bombs, right? You
yeah. Like
know,
that paper bomb
or
shit. Yeah,
and it's like, but he's not gonna have time to do like I guess you could argue like he flying Raijins away and then
right.
gets an Edo Tensei, you know what I mean? And then
Yeah,
brings that, and then but he's not gonna be able to do that in battle though. That's
yeah.
not
He's
happening,
got a
you
very
know?
short amount, especially if Ace
So
bloodlusted. He wouldn't have much time to do
and he
anything.
has no feats for his water style. We have no
Yeah,
AP feats. None.
yeah.
None. You
Yeah,
know
that's
what
the problem with him. It's like hard to
I mean?
it's hard to scale
Yeah.
him to like people where you think he might win because there's just really nothing on him. Like as far as scale,
He just doesn't have at most you just have like the narrative scaling ballpark, which
like
puts him
with
above the
Sonny.
Sonic, right?
Yeah,
Because of
exactly.
his feats in the Konoha Crush, you know?
So,
That's all you fucking have. And then obviously his ridiculously impressive feats with the flying Raijin. But then again, it's flying Raijin. That's
yeah,
space time fucking ninjutsu teleportation. Like,
yeah,
yeah, you're gonna be able to fucking deal with Madara's physical speed and you know, or be able to land combos with Jubilo because again, it's broken. Anybody could do that. Minato, Tobirama,
yep, yeah.
Boruto, you know, like
Boruto.
so. Flying Raijin's just fucking broken. You know, so
Yeah,
at the end of the day, like that's really what it boils down to. It can honestly go either way.
definitely can.
You
Definitely
know,
can. Yeah,
I feel like it can go either way. The problem is he's not gonna have. There's no way to argue he'll have the AP with his water style or any other bullshit to pierce through the Raikage. Like he doesn't have a fucking Chidori. He doesn't have a Rising
No,
Gun. You know what I mean? Like
doesn't.
he doesn't
Yeah,
have that shit. There's no way you could argue his water style is as strong as a fucking Chidori or Rising Gun, So like, and mind you, that was V1, not even V2. V2 is like even more durability, right? Even more like
yeah,
that's his max fucking power. It's like going to Super Saiyan 2, instead of
exactly.
Super Saiyan 1,
Yeah,
And you're talking about in that Raikage, I didn't know. I actually did not know this. I was looking through the manga at a certain point you're putting. A fought the Eight Tails with the third Raikage in his lightning cloak.
yeah.
He cut off the horn with his lightning cloak. That's a
That's
pretty
insane
good
AP.
feat.
Yeah,
That's
it's
insane
insane AP.
AP to cut the horn off the 18. He did it, not the third Raikage. A did that shit. It
Yeah,
literally shows him in the manga doing that, and he also was like, there's statements and he's there, whatnot. Like him and the third Raikage had to fight the Eight Tails all the fucking time and subdue it to where they could put him in the seal, and not like, oh, here's the seal, like some Kin and Gin shit. No, they had to beat it down.
like
You know what I
physically,
mean?
yeah, beat it down.
Yeah,
Yeah,
physically. So like again, like physically he's superior, speed he's superior.
superior.
So the only way Tobirama can do it is with the infinite explosions. That's
Yeah,
the
that would be
only way I could
strategy.
see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Dana White doesn't
Yeah.
care if people use roids. Well, he has to because at least in the United States, athletic commissions literally won't let you fight if you're testing positive. So he has to care.
Facts.
He let Brock Lesnar and Alistair Overeem fight. I don't know if he let them. That was a different point in time as well. It's not really analogous to now. The testing is far better than it was back then. It's taken
Yeah.
much more serious than it was back then. That was like
Yeah.
early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken. They were clearly on roids. You could just fucking see them. They were like some of the most built. They were like the most built motherfuckers I've ever seen. They used to call all.
Bro, like
Yeah, it was
Jay,
insane.
even celebrities like actors, it could be so obvious they're
It's
on
very
fucking
obvious.
roids and shit. Like
Uh,
like Dwayne Johnson. I'm sorry, I
Obviously on
love
roids.
Dwayne. I
Yeah,
love him. But
yeah.
come on, man.
It's
You
like,
know what I
dude, it's
mean?
fucking
Like,
obvious that you're 50 years old and you're like 20 times bigger than you were at 30. Like,
yeah.
who are we kidding
Like
here?
Dave Batista, the one that played Dax,
Oh,
from
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Marvel. Like that dude,
Roids.
when he stopped taking his roids, that boy, bro, he looks honestly, he
Yeah,
looks
his body's like,
unhealthy.
it's like
When he
deteriorating now. Yeah.
Yeah, like when he lost all that muscle and all that, bro, I was actually worried. He looked like, like when there's people that are like really fat and it's a W, right? I'm not making fun of them. This is a
Yeah.
W, but when people are really fat and then they work out and they lose all that fat, but it's still there technically,
Yeah,
like
it's
it's
like
like
hanging.
sagging.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's hanging. That's what happens when you stop roiding. But it's
Yeah.
similar to that, and
Your
he
body's
looked fucking
dependent.
rough.
Yeah, I saw
So like
pictures too. I
again,
was like,
like
damn, bro.
shit. What I'm advocating for, basically in a nutshell, Jay's not wrong in that. It's obvious, man. Like,
Yeah. And I think like they're paying, let's just say this, to give you credit, the UFC is paying the price for the roid shit because this one fighter,
yeah,
trying to remember his name, Mark Hunt, got knocked the fuck out by Brock when he was on roids, and he's suing the UFC for that. He said, like, dude, I got fucked up by this guy, and this guy was cheating, so I'm gonna sue you.
yep,
And he has every right to do that. I think if he's not on roids, he's doing things right, and he's fighting some guy that's fucking
yeah,
juiced to the gills, and he gets knocked the fuck out. That's not fair. I think he should be able to
yeah.
sue.
And Jay, what do you
Uh,
know? What happened? That was exposed. It actually
exactly.
came out and blah blah.
Uh,
Like, if someone is legit doing, it's gonna be
it's gonna
exposed,
come
man.
out.
Like especially if you're doing it like all the time. You know what I mean? Like you're trying to keep it a secret or whatever. It's gonna come out. You know what I mean? Like you might
Yeah.
maybe be able to get away with it like one or two fights. But over and over, fuck no.
You're gonna
I
get
mean,
caught,
it's only
especially
a matter
now.
of time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially now.
especially now how advanced we are. Like if you want to argue like back then and shit, probably like things are contentious, whatever, blah blah. But especially now, come
Yeah.
on, man.
Now it's like
Like
you can even accidentally do something. You like drink fucking some random water, someone's water, and you get test positive for some bullshit. It's not even your fault. So it's like that's how
yeah,
good their shit is
yeah.
at detecting stuff. So I don't think I don't think Dana doesn't care. I think that's definitely not true. But it was more prevalent back then. I'll give you that. Kakashi versus
I'll say this too, though, Jay.
yeah.
I'll be real because this have to be funny as fuck, And hopefully, while I'm on training, whatnot, I'll have like access to technology still, and I can look, and look at this even if I'm not there. But honestly, if you guys really feel that way, because I feel like you guys always try to combat Jay and that shit, what's it called? Honestly, debate him, bro. Like, if
Yeah,
you really
I've
believe
debated
God
people on
Joe's,
that.
like,
Uh,
Yeah, like go debate him, ask him, try to schedule. Obviously, be respectful because if you're gonna be a dick, he's not gonna want to do it with you.
yeah.
He's doing you the favor, you know. But what's it called? But like if anybody, well, if you feel strongly, and mind you, respectfully too, we're not putting you down. There's nothing wrong with it.
No,
But
no, no.
like, and Jay loves debating. He loves it, you
Yeah.
know. So,
Yeah. Speaking of
what's it
that,
called? I feel like
yeah,
that'd be cool just to see Jay repping that shit and prove. You know, I think it'd be
yeah.
cool. You know,
And I
you
just
guys
stick to
trying to
the
argue. So,
I stick to the facts, you know. I like
good.
Jones as a fighter, as a person, it's a different story, but as a fighter, I
Yeah.
like him. But yeah,
Yeah,
speaking of
bias don't
debating,
matter. In a debate,
yeah.
bias does not do shit.
Yeah, I remove
Facts
all
do.
that. I definitely remove all that. And
Yep.
speaking of debating, I think I already announced I'm planning on doing like a tournament thing, where
Nice.
people could come at me only about topics I care about, not some random ass shit I don't care about. But
Yeah.
basically anyone can come at me. I think I have like 3 or 4 people already that want to do it. So far, I want at least
Good.
5 to make it worthwhile. Basically topics that I think would be fun, like Tachi versus Pain, Sasuke versus Lee, Chun exams. Um, I think it was another one. Tobirama versus Minato is another one that I'll be down. So if anyone wants to, so far I have I think 4 people, 3 or 4 people so far.
Tobarama and Minato is easy claps. Easy
That's an easy
claps.
one.
I
So
mean,
if
I'll
yeah,
be right. You wanna what's crazy? Like when we have like our streams where we're talking with everybody, and whatnot, or like when you like hear a listen here and there and shit. Like people always getting like, oh, but that's I hate that type, because it's gonna be like exhausting and draining, or it's
it
gonna
is,
take
yeah,
hours. Honestly, here's the crazy thing. When I was looking through the manga and especially the anime too in combination, and if you know how to debate and argue, you could be able to argue the anime is canon, right? It's actually in more favor for you to argue that it's canon,
yeah.
than the opposite. Um, but with the anime included on top of it, bro, it's I don't see how people could be doing that shit for hours. Like I feel
That's
if you
insane.
go first, yeah, if you go
Yeah,
first, bro, Minato is just drastically more in favor, bro. Narratively, he actually has feats, he has AP, he has speed, like all the shit he does in the war is crazy shit, the
yeah.
one-shot manga. Like, I'm sorry, bro, but I don't see how it's even really that problematic at all. I really don't. You know what I
It's
mean?
not. It really
Because
isn't.
it's way more, yeah, it's way more in favor for Minato. It's really clear and cut and dry. And then for the Tobirama, you know what to expect already.
Yeah,
Because he only has very little of what you can really do to try to make him either like a ridiculously bullshit ass fucking six pass level scaling
exactly.
motherfucker,
Yeah,
or if you're somehow trying to at least get him to like a similar minutes of ballpark, right? Which I'll say at least that's more reasonable, but even that is incorrect, right? Because when you really analyze everything you have as a whole, at best, bare minimum, you can have him above the Sonic. That is it. And guess what? Minato's also above the fucking Sonic drastically.
drastic.
Itachi,
Yeah,
Minato, and Obito and Nagato, people like that caliber, they're way beyond the fucking Sonic,
yeah. It's
while
blatant.
Tobirama is just barely above the Sonic. There's a difference.
Yeah,
So when you analyze that as a whole, and then you analyze Minato's accomplishments, right? How he dies, and then analyze Tobirama twice too, brought to the
yeah,
brink of death by Kinnigan with the aid of a fucking Kage, you know? And that was the first time they fought. He's at full power at the 5 Kage summit, basically. I mean, there's Joning there, there's a fucking Kage, and he gets brought to the brink of death and probably only got away because of flying Raijin. That's fucking pathetic, dude. That's
exactly.
fucking pathetic. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it. Like, yeah, I'm not saying he lost to Kinnigan in base. Obviously, it had to be V2, right? There's no way it had to be V2.
yeah.
But that's
It
still
was good.
pathetic.
Yeah,
That's
they
still
look terrible.
pathetic.
They look terrible in the war arc.
It
Uh,
just gives them a horrible fucking look. Yeah, because of how shit they look in the war. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and the craziest thing, like, there's a shit ton of statements, a shit ton that constantly reconfirms the consistency of Tobirama just straight up losing. Like, it was never like, oh yeah, he got off guard, or there was never like that implicate, or there was never like, oh, blah blah blah. Like literally, it's just consistently said over and over. And Shikamaru, the smartest motherfucker, not Shikamaru, his dad,
yeah,
one of the smartest motherfuckers, a guy that's been alive for eons, okay, has all the intel and shit, and you name it, okay. He doesn't say, oh yeah, Tobirama, he only lost because, off guard or yada or somebody. No, he straight up says, hey, I know these guys beat Lord Second, but I believe you can do it. You guys are, Shikacho, whatever, blah. You got this shit, bro. And what do you know? It becomes surpassing our predecessor moment, basically.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly.
It
Yeah,
looks really bad for Tobirama.
exactly. It
That's
is.
shit. That's
That's not
horrible.
good.
And then the second time, then he literally dies. And yes, he was fatigued. Yes, but he's not gassed out fatigue. He's not huffing and puffing, like Nagato drooling or coughing blood and shit. You know what I mean? No,
Exactly.
he's literally calm and collective, has a couple little fatigue black marks on his face, and he's like, all right, guys, I'm the Kage, I'm a sacrifice, I'm gonna buy you guys time, whatever, blah. So meaning he was forced to confront V2 Kinnigan along with probably a bunch of Anbu adjoining, which let's be real, those Anbu adjoinings are fucking fodder, right? They were not gonna do shit. They probably immediately got no diff by Tobirama, but it just comes down to
Facts.
Kinnigan, right? Again.
Yeah.
And they go V2 and he can't do shit, right? He can't get past the durability. He may be faster than it, but he can't beat it. He can't do nothing. Eventually, he just probably got exhausted and he dies, right? And I'm
Yep.
sorry, that's fucking still pathetic because look at
Yep.
Nagato when he's fatigued, and I mean like super fatigued,
Like
not a little
dying.
bit,
Yeah.
or when he's fighting Sage. No, I mean like when he's so fatigued, that motherfucker's drooling, coughing blood. Yet he could still beat the Six Tails
Even
Naruto. He could
Itachi.
still
Yeah.
he could still seal like yeah. Then look at fucking Itachi who has
Shitting blood.
no chakra. Zetsu says no fucking chakra, barely nothing. And this
Yeah.
guy's blind. And he has a
Literally
disease
can't
coughing,
see.
shitting blood out of his ass. Okay?
Literally.
And this kid's still no diff for Orochimaru and beat
Literally, no
Sasuke.
effort. Yeah. That's
So
fucking
again, like
crazy.
there's no excuse.
No
Like you
excuse,
got
man.
characters that are fatigued as shit and they can still do it. You know what I mean? Okay,
Yeah,
like
that's not an excuse at
fucking
all.
like Itachi does it. Pain does it. Minato, look at him. He's spamming Flying Raijin, teleporting Gumbuta in the Nine Tails, and it's stated verbatim that the bigger the object is, even more chakra it costs. Because
Yeah.
when he teleported the Biju Bomb, Kurama, and Gambunsa, he was literally coughing, like he was like huffing and puffing, like fuck, I'm low on chakra, and he stinks
Facts.
it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and mind you, before he even got to that point, he was spamming Flying Raijin, fighting Obito, you know what I mean, the whole and whatnot, defeated Obito and shit, right? You know what I mean? And then does that, and then he's finally like reaching his limit. And even when he has no chakra, he can still do the Reaper Death Seal,
Crazy.
seal
Yeah.
a fucking Nine Tails in
Yeah.
two portions. He does it
Full Nine
twice.
Tails.
Twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy.
That's ridiculous. With no, so again, like I don't want to hear it. Like Tobirama being fatigued, like bro, you know what I mean? And mind you, he wasn't even like super gassed out. You know what I mean? Like he was
Yeah.
literally, he still looked like he had some juice left. You know? So
That's
again,
insane.
like there's no excuse. Like
Yeah.
this, in all regards, narratively, feats, everything. He's just blatantly the superior. You
Yeah,
know?
this is a fact.
So,
I mean, it's not even a conversation,
like,
to be honest.
that's why I think it's so easy, like to debate or like honestly, I say otherwise. Like I
Yeah.
understand, like I can get where people are coming from, but I feel like it only gets to that point if you're entertaining
Yeah,
it,
exactly.
or
You
if
gotta
you're
allow it.
allowing the rabbit holes. Yeah, if you
Yeah.
allow it, if you're entertaining, then yeah, you're fucked, right? You know,
Yeah.
because
You're just
you're
making it
letting
harder
it
on
happen.
yourself. Exactly.
But if you
Yeah.
shut that shit down, right, and you immediately prove it with facts and evidence, right, you know, it doesn't matter, right? Like
Facts.
everything I literally just said, which is you can literally prove it either objectively or high probability of it, right? You know, what's it called? There you go. It's a done. It doesn't matter
Facts.
what the fuck they say. They could be delusional all they want. If you have the overwhelming amount of evidence to support otherwise, it don't matter what the fuck they say. It
Exactly.
don't.
Yeah.
You know
It's
what I mean?
just
It don't matter, and then it's an easy fucking W. And the best thing Tobirama has, the best thing is the Jubilo shit.
Yep.
But it's an off-screen feat that is already
Exactly.
contentious as it is. And if you analyze it as a whole, it is very straightforward of what the fuck occurred and happened.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
pretty easy. What's going on, John?
You know?
John? What's going on, bro? Do you know Denise DeSouza? I know he's like a political figure, right? Feel free to ask political questions too, by the way, if you want. I know a lot of political things have been transpiring. Iran and the Israel ceasefire.
Yes, sir.
China. A lot of things have been going on, so feel free to ask about that.
Bro, yeah, speaking of the fuck, yeah, Trump didn't play.
Yeah, he didn't play. Basically, this is the way.
What? You're not gonna fucking listen, you stupid ass kid. All right, you know, I'm bombing your shit.
Yeah, he bombed their shit, and then the next day there was a ceasefire. So like, all right, we're not gonna fucking play that shit.
You know what he said, bro? You know what he did? He pulled a moderate and went to Inoki, and he said, Inoki, I ain't no Hashirama, I ain't Konoha. You listen to me, motherfucker. Okay,
Facts.
you bow down.
He fear
and
hacks
Inoki pulled the Iran. Was like, no, we're doing. How about talking all this bullshit, whatever? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, okay. He goes to Sano. He's like, are you gonna fucking listen now, bitch? And then what they do? They bow down.
It's like,
Trump Sano was the bomb. Okay?
It reminds me when the first term when he fear hacks Kim Jong Un in North Korea. 'Cause they were talking like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna take over. He's like, shut the fuck up. I'm gonna press this red button. He's like, oh fuck. And then he never said shit again. He's been quiet ever since. Iran, you know what's funny?
Yeah.
They were on Twitter or whatever you want to call it. They were talking shit. Like they're like a government page. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna fuck up the U.S. and Israel. And then he bombs Iran. And then he bombs
Yeah.
Iran. And they're like, all right, we're ready for a ceasefire. I was like, yeah, that's what I thought, bitch. Like, shut the fuck up. We're not
Bro,
gonna do shit.
the fold, they
They
folded
folded
so
so
quick.
hard. It was like J. Cole with fucking K. Dot. I was
Guys,
like, bro.
and we're not even like you guys probably think like, oh, we're just gassing or blah blah all this bull.
No,
No,
no, this
bro,
is a fact.
you guys don't understand how powerful the U.S. military
Yeah,
is.
they're
Like we have
fucking
spent billions, trillions of fucking dollars on
yeah.
on that shit.
It's the greatest
We
military.
are so far and ahead of like so much, like bro, like literally, and I'm talking like statistically, objectively, and I
Yeah.
mean, there's some people that it could be contentious in certain regards, but for the majority of it, we are blatantly superior, bro. We have
Facts.
aircrafts that can like go Mach 7 and shit,
Facts.
going like crazy ass, like where they're undetectable,
You got like
like
fucking
doing
Gojo
all
level
kinds of
speed aircraft, dude.
bro,
Uh,
dude, like we have some crazy shit, some crazy fucking shit, bro. And you want to know what's even more crazy? That's what we know publicly. Imagine what
facts.
they
I'm not gonna
have
say
on the
everything.
down low.
Facts. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say
imagine
everything.
what the fuck they got on the down low. You know?
Facts. Like
So
Iran is just not a superpower. They're gonna talk shit and
no,
get fucked up. Like what the
the
fuck? What
only
did you
people
expect?
that you would ever remotely even be concerned about is Russia
In
and
China.
China.
That's
You know
it.
that, and that's it. And honestly, Russia's only because they got nukes. I'm gonna be real with you. When
Facts.
it comes to like their
Like
military
manpower.
strategy,
Yeah, nah.
you know, and land power, that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's Toby Rama all over again. They're
Facts.
struggling to fucking Ukraine. They're
Yeah.
struggling to fucking your how long they've been fighting. Yeah, sure, we may have helped and blah blah and all this, whatever. But bro, you're fucking Russia and you're still fighting them for that long and
Yeah.
struggling. Like,
It,
yeah, I mean, like you're telling your air support can't figure it out. You're telling like, you know, or better yet, like shit. I'm surprised they haven't pulled the U.S. and nuked them. You know, like
facts.
bro. And I'm not supporting that or saying that, but again, like Russia is known as one of the most other powerful countries in the fucking world.
Yeah, they're a
You know,
superpower.
uh,
Yeah, they're definitely a superpower.
it's like Russia. You know, I'll say China is a better example, but I'm just gonna say it. But Russia's like the lightning nation, right? Like we're
Facts.
Konoha, right?
Facts.
You know, and then Russia is the light nation or the miss nation, you know, or whatever, but things like that.
Yeah.
Like they're just as dangerous, whatever. But when it comes to that shit, I'm sorry, they look sorry as shit. They
That's
look
just like
sorry
yeah.
as fuck. You
Like the way
know,
that they didn't display
what
dominance.
if we were in Russia's shoes? If we were having to fight somebody, ending that shit
Oh,
quick.
facts. Like, bitch, if we don't get a
What-
ceasefire, you're gonna keep dying. Like, that's what the fuck you
yeah,
talking
like,
about?
bro, like, in all honesty, for one, I don't even think we even go to troops because we're so advanced. We don't have to fucking do that. We don't have
Yeah,
to send and make sacrifice. Like we
just
don't.
bomb
Like
their
back
ass.
then,
Fuck it.
we did. Yeah, we can
Yeah,
literally just use air support, bomb, whatever, or do other or technology, whatever. And I'm gonna say I can't say too much, whatnot, because you know I can get in trouble. But what I
I
can say, because this is publicly available, and recruiters will even tell you this within the military and in the branch of the army that and this is literally knowledge I have, and it's publicly available too. We're so advanced, even if there was a war to occur, right? Even if someone whatever, we're not immediately going to troops.
yeah,
Like that's literally what you can go to a recruiter office and they'll tell you the same exact shit. That's how advanced the military is. Like we would just go to air support or technology just to fuck up people and shit, you know, and whatnot.
facts.
We don't have to send people. We really
Save
don't,
manpower.
you know.
Yeah,
So you know, and even if we did entertain that and send some shit, which would be out of character, okay, from what I know, and even recruiters telling me the same shit, okay. Even if that wasn't the case, okay, and we sent whatever, the moment we realize it's we're losing a lot of people or it's not worth it, blah blah blah, we're immediately withdrawing our troops and we're immediately using either air support to solve the problem. And if somehow, some way that didn't, which I'm gonna be honest, that would solve the problem. But even if that didn't, we're dropping a nuke because the U.S. don't play. They don't give a fuck. They
facts.
don't, you know.
Yeah, that's facts.
So you know, so yeah,
They just implement more fear than other
yeah,
superpowers. China is like
yeah.
the Trojan horse. This is the thing
China,
about
they're
China.
interesting. They're
Yeah,
interesting because they're actually
like
doing a lot of crazy ass shit.
and what's
Yeah.
funny about China is what
So
they do behind the scenes. Like, I'm not a
yeah,
conspiracy nut, but this is just blatant. So with TikTok, for example, the reason why
yeah,
there's been this controversy, like, oh, let's ban it and stuff, is because TikTok was a Chinese government-owned platform, and the
yeah,
theory is, and I think it's a very fair theory. I don't think you're a conspiracy nut at all. Is that they're using TikTok to dumb down the next generation by limiting their attention spans, by giving them this
Yep.
platform with this like drug addiction level of short-term content where they're just scrolling, dumbing down the generation. And the way they see
Facts.
TikTok as, they see it as like a Trojan horse. Like, okay, they're not sending people to kill us, but they're dumbing down the next generation. So when 20, 30 years from now, when the older generation, dies out, we're gonna be fucking
Yep.
useless and we're gonna be incompetent, and then
Yeah.
China could take over, and they'll
They're
be like,
doing they're doing
yeah,
like mental and emotional and business calculated
yeah,
warfare basically.
very
They're not like
calculated.
making it physical or
Yeah,
or announcing straight up war whatever. They're being very it's honestly think of it this way in simple terms. You know how guys or men do things violently and physically, right?
yeah,
And then women do things like calculated like mentally, emotionally or legally,
it's
right?
manipulation.
That's
Yeah,
what China's doing. They're pulling like
exactly.
some woman shit. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
very,
That's
very,
basically what it is,
it's very cunning. The
So,
CCP is very cunning,
yeah.
and the United States, got wind of it, and they're trying. I mean,
It's smart.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's smart. It's really smart, and there's
It's
even other,
ratty. It's a pussy
yeah,
radish, but it is smart.
yeah, it's smart. And even Rogan had on the director of the FBI a couple weeks ago. I listened to the whole
Yeah,
thing. I was just curious, and he even would say that China will send, like, they'll send immigrants here that are secretly working for them to
yeah,
learn government secrets. Maybe they get a degree, maybe they go high up in the government or some important corporation, and then they give secrets to China. It's very intelligent. I mean, they're fucking,
yeah.
they got their strategy down tight.
They're taking advantage of the freedom
The
aspect of where
freedom,
anyone's
yeah.
welcome.
They're
Yep,
exploiting
yep,
our kindness is what they're doing. And now that Trump's in, they're more mindful of it. And this director seems very mindful of it too. The current FBI director, very
yeah,
like it's things are being fixed, but China's done a lot of damage internally. And I think Abraham Lincoln said it best. He said, "I think the only way to take down our country is from the inside out." And that's exactly what China's trying to do. They're attempting
yeah.
to basically the Trojan horse story to a T. It's infiltrating us
Yeah.
from
And
within.
then not only that, they're always constantly like on the grind doing shit. Like every
Grinds.
time I'm on social media, and I'll look at the proof too. I won't just read somebody and then be "Oh, okay." No, I'll look into it and do my research, and it's
Yep.
legit 9 out of 10 times. Sometimes it can be bullshit, but 9 out of 10 times they're always doing some fucking crazy shit. They're over
Yep.
here working on trying to make super so like where humans are immune to fucking radiation and shit. All kinds of shit they're fucking working on or experimenting with or accomplishments they've done. Recently this was objectively confirmed. They have a device that's as powerful as a nuke, but it's not nuclear. It's just fire. It's a
That's
thero
crazy. Oh, like
it's just fire.
it's like
It's so
thermonuclear.
powerful.
Yeah.
Yes, that's what it is. And
Yeah.
it's so there's no radiation. You don't have to like deal with all that bullshit. And honestly, it's smart because basically you have a strong, powerful ass fireball. You know what I mean?
Right. It's like pure
Like a
AP.
fireball jutsu. It's
Yeah.
just like a nuke, but it's just pure AP, and you don't
That's
have to deal with like the
crazy.
radiation consequences,
Uh,
and you also don't have to
that's
worry
smart.
about, oh, I can't live there now forever, or I gotta be in
Right.
a bunker,
Right.
And
Yeah.
honestly, that's concerning
That's concerning.
because that it is smart because that's one way to not only kill and take out people, but to also make the land still habitable and take over it,
Exactly.
right?
They could
You
take the
know,
land after the fact. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
and in all honesty, let's be real. Like, I don't think nukes will ever be. Me and Jay have said this over and over,
Yeah.
right? It's never gonna fucking happen
Suicide.
as like for all out war, whatever.
Uh,
Because yeah, it's suicide. Like everybody, it's a lose lose, right?
yeah.
Everybody loses basically.
Yeah, no one would win.
What's it
Yeah.
called? Yeah, no one would. It'd be like Fallout, right? If you ever seen the show or
Facts.
played the game,
Yeah.
or it'd be like any other fucking shows where you see like now you're having to live underground for the rest of your fucking life, blah blah, some bullshit.
Yeah.
So like nobody would fucking do it. The rich, they're too greedy and spoiled to do that. They would never fucking do that. But what they will do, here's what they will do. Okay, they'll do what China did. They'll figure out to find something that's just as effective, but without the severe consequences, right?
Exactly.
So
Without human
so it is
extinction.
concerning because
Yep.
for one, I'm not saying the US doesn't have anything, but let's be real. They're not going to put their shit out in public, right? Like
Facts.
they could
Fuck
have
no.
things that we don't even know. For all I know, we could have shit that's even better than that. We could have a fucking goddamn wind-based fucking bomb that's like a
EMPs or some
Susano
shit.
swords, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, who knows, right? Like who knows, bro? But all I'm getting at, okay, is it makes sense, and the fact that they made it public, it just goes to show that eventually that's going to be to the point where the most powerful countries are at, where it's not going to be nuclear that we're using, nothing like that. We're just using things that are ridiculously fucking powerful.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That are
efficient,
continental,
powerful.
that are fucking yeah, just
Yeah.
whether if it's fire, wind, weather, whatever the fuck it is, it could be just a way to where it's just as deadly and destructive as a nuke, but again, without the radiation aspect. So,
Yeah, more
so the
efficient.
main point being said, China though, they're
They're
actually the
cunning.
only ones I consider a threat, really, to
They're
the
a threat.
U.S.
They're
And
definitely
that's
a threat.
because of how they
Yep.
operate intelligently,
Strategic.
behind the scenes, strategic, and the shit that they're always making, the things they're always doing. And also, just to give a little more context, when I was speaking about the whole super soldier ship that they're trying to do, and they're getting really close to doing, they were doing that for space travel purposes. And also, just in case if there was a nuclear war as a contingency to
Right.
where they're immune to it, but we're
Yeah.
not. You know what I mean? And they
Right.
can
They have
still
like
thrive or live or whatever.
yeah, like
You know?
biological advantages. Yeah, that's fucking
Yeah,
crazy.
but I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna be real with you. If they could be able to accomplish that, the US can too.
Yeah,
So
the U.S.
like,
People forget how capable the U.S. really is, and people forget
yeah.
how much of a, I guess, deterrent the U.S. has been to nuclear war. Like Ukraine and
Yeah, who
Russia.
who is the first one that got nukes? The
Yeah,
US.
facts. Yeah, exactly. We're the first one to use it. Like we're the very first to
Yeah.
scare the entire world with fucking nukes. Like fucking. So
Yep.
people forget
We basically said, don't fuck with us, okay? And
facts.
we'll be nice. Here's freedom, free will, blah, blah. Yeah, you'll probably take of it, whatever, yada, yada, yada. But if you try to kill us or fuck with us violently, okay, we're going to fuck you up with nukes,
Facts. Even Oppenheimer, the creator, he's like, when he
Yeah.
created it, he's like, dude, I created death. Like, what the fuck have I done?
Yep.
Like, he's fucking. The guy even realized the
But
fucking
then again, who is able to accomplish and earn that?
facts.
Us, not no
Exactly.
China, not no. Now, I will say Germany, they could have been potentially close if they won the war. They could have
Right.
technically,
Hitler would have won the war.
been, and that,
Yeah.
that would have been a nightmare. That would have been a crazy ass scenario. But
Oh yeah.
but that doesn't count because Germany didn't earn that. That was more of them just trying to be ratty and smart and steal what we had if they beat
Right.
us. You know what
If
I
they
mean?
beat us, yeah.
So yeah.
Secrets. Yeah. Germany
So
was
main point being said, the U.S. we're just built like that. Like we're
yeah.
always ahead. We're always winning. You know what I mean? We're
Yeah.
always just in that regard. We're
This is
just on
victory.
top. You know?
Yeah, they're on
Yeah.
top, and people forget we still are. Now it's just with media and narratives easily changed and influence easily
Yeah.
enacted
Bunch of
upon because of the
bullshit.
internet. It's easier to like
Yep.
cloud people's judgments, like, oh, the internet, the United States sucks, and fucking like, dude, there's a
Or,
reason
or
why.
the news, or the
Yeah,
news, and blah blah. You know.
bullshit. Let's just say this. It's this simple. There's a reason why the U.S. has more influx of immigrants than any other country in the world. Let's just leave it at that. It's
Yep.
that simple. Like,
Yep.
there's a reason
And,
why.
and most importantly, I'm gonna say this too. You guys talk all that shit. You bitch, you complain, whatever. Yeah. Imagine living in fucking Iran right now. Imagine
Oh,
living in
hell no.
Ukraine right now.
Fuck no.
Imagine being in Russia right now, or imagine being in North fucking Korea. Okay, how
Facts.
that play like you guys take shit for fucking
This is
granted,
taking it for
man. Like
granted.
I'm telling,
Yeah.
like you don't understand how blessed you got it. You really
Extremely
don't, bro.
blessed,
You know what I
man.
mean?
Like
There's so many countries that either rule with tyranny and you can't do shit. You
fear.
can't say shit,
Yeah.
nothing. Russia, they don't play.
They don't play that
There's
shit.
you can't.
No.
Yeah, you can't have a fucking podcast and say no, 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 no. You can't
Hell
do
no.
that.
Hell
They don't
no.
fucking play. Even
Uh,
a big country like it's not the same. Like so
no.
again, like uh, I'm telling you, do your homework, look it up on Google. Okay, how the
It's
small countries are and the big. I'm telling you, you're taking shit for granted, bro.
yeah,
You know.
it's easy to
And,
because
and
like
there's pros and cons to everything. I'm not saying the U.S. is perfect. You
of
know what I
course
mean?
yeah, of
Rainbow
course
said
not,
like,
yeah.
no, there's
Definitely
a
not
lot of
perfect.
shit. Either we may not
Yeah.
be better, whatever, or things that we're purposely doing to ourselves and shooting ourselves in the foot. But we do have it pretty fucking good,
Yeah,
bro.
we're the
You know?
pinnacle. I mean, whether people want to admit it or not, we're still the pinnacle. Yes, there is flaws. Every country
Yeah,
has them. Every entity
yeah.
in an imperfect reality has imperfections. It's
Look
inevitable.
at where Tate was. Romero, he
Yeah,
thought he was like, invincible there. Look what
untouchable.
happened. You know?
Exactly. He's been in
So,
deep doo doo. Like
and where
it's
did, where
so.
did he come? Where was the next place he came?
Yep, the
Guess
United
where?
States.
Here.
Exactly. Yeah, fact. There's a reason why he fucking came here out of all
Yep.
countries. Not the fucking UK. He came here.
Yep.
So there's a reason
No,
for
not
that.
not 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 Canada,
Not
nothing,
fucking
bro. I'm telling
Canada.
you. So like,
Yeah,
so
facts.
again, like again, like you guys, like at the end, when it really comes down to it, what me and Jay are basically getting at,
Yeah,
U.S. is technically the way to
it's
go.
the
Is there
pinnacle.
things that potentially other countries do technically better, or is more convenient that we would also prefer to have too, and
Oh yeah, of
blah
course.
blah whatever, or
Oh,
things are even contentious things, sure, right?
yeah.
But overall, like in the scheme of things, the most important scope of it, if you if you fucking look at that shit deeply, right? We got it good. We do,
Facts,
And
facts. That
and
is
even
right.
and even for like and Jay said it, yeah, we have flaws too. Like even with the speech, whatnot. Sure, it's not per like that's why like you have this shit where like you got like Rumble or Kick at all these places where there is freedom of speech, right?
There
You can
is,
talk
there
whatever.
is, yeah,
But yeah, if you're on YouTube or Twitch or whatever, you can't. There's only so much you can say. There's only so much you could do, and you got to be real fucking careful.
yeah.
Otherwise, they put you in the shit list in the algorithm, and you get no views, clicks,
Blacklisted,
nothing.
yeah.
Yeah, you're blacklisted, or otherwise, or you're getting out of nowhere some bullshit ass. Oh, you broke the terms and conditions, even though the
Shadow
motherfucker
banned,
that has
yeah,
millions of subs has the same shit in his video, but
yeah.
it's a problem
Facts,
with you. Like
yeah,
so no matter what, like it's not perfect here either. Like again, there's flaws, whatever. But hey, at least you're not being killed for it. At least you're
facts.
not being
Yeah,
arrested for it. You know what I
there's
mean?
no
At least
no
you
physical
have the
harm.
ability to. Yeah, at least you have the ability to so improvise and figure it the fuck out in freedom.
Facts.
You know,
Yeah,
so
that's a blatant fact, and they always say
yeah,
privilege is invisible to those that have it. It's just a fact. I mean, it's just a fact.
yeah,
That's the case. Dinesh is a mainstream Republican guy. He's debating Nick Fuentes on Tuesday. I've been listening to a lot
yeah.
of debates actually, so yeah. In your guys' opinion, what design goes harder, the curse mark or karma?
Curse mark,
Man,
curse mark for
I
me.
think overall curse mark. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
and the reason why I feel like Kishimoto had a better narrative emphasis with like more thought and world building with it too,
right.
like
Yeah,
it wasn't so like so simplistic, and straightforward. It was really really cool, you know what I mean, and it also boiled down to your talent as a shinobi too when it came to using it to its full potential. Like there was
yeah,
differences between the Sound 4, Kimaru, blatant differences with them compared to Sasuke,
yeah.
huge
Facts.
differences.
It's
Like,
definitely
and then
a yeah.
Jugo was
Jugo.
even better than them,
Yeah,
like he
I
was the
think
perfection of it,
it was
so
definitely aesthetically more pleasing. I think it's aesthetically
yeah.
superior. Like the
And
karma's
then the
cool,
aura of it,
but
like Sasuke's aura, like when he
oh
first
damn,
released
bro.
it, I feel like
Yeah.
that's unmatched. I'm sorry, I don't like maybe like when Boruto did the karma like against like that fat bitch,
Oh
you know
yeah,
what I
that
mean?
fucking fat guy.
That
Yeah.
is probably like a close competitor, or you could even argue like maybe it's like either better or at least up there. But I don't know, bro. I feel like to this day, Sasuke's first curse mark unleashed,
That
that
was
aura and that
peak
everything
aura.
with it was
Yeah.
just unmatched, bro.
It was peak
It
aura.
was just crazy. Yeah.
Definitely peak aura, and I think
You know, like
aesthetically it
like
just looks cooler.
Boruto's not done though.
Yeah, it's
Boruto's
not
not
done.
done, so there's still potential to surpass, blah blah, whatever, yada yada yada. But at least from everything I've seen from the anime so far, and at least from what I've heard with the manga, Jay has seen more in the manga too.
Yeah.
But I can't say. But I don't know. I feel like the curse mark just always hit better. It was
It
always just
did.
cooler to me. It was
It's
more
cooler.
badass. It was more
It
cool.
looks
Like
cooler.
like bro, it gave immortality. It was like here's the crazy thing, the curse mark was technically the karma, like the OG karma, technically, if you
Facts.
really think about it.
Yeah.
Because Orochimaru, even when he was dead, as long as there was a curse mark and the user allowed it, he could come back to
Then
life.
you come back. Yeah.
It was better than the karma.
Yeah, facts. The
Like,
karma, it's like
yeah,
aesthetically, it's more simple. Like it's cool how like it like kind of
very
takes.
simple.
It's
Yeah,
simple. Like it kind of takes over like half your arm and your body when you like implement it. But the curse mark is like
yeah,
this cool like it like overtakes your fucking body and it looks all like it looks cleaner. It
yeah.
looks cleaner.
Yeah, like
Um,
another way to say it too, Jay. Like honestly, I don't even really compare the karma to curse mark. If anything, I compare the karma to a Jinjuriki. Really,
that's
I think
facts.
that's what it mainly really resembles a lot more.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
think about it, like the karma is not just a mark, and with all what no, it's literally that and the alien that's within you. It's
Yeah.
two
Right.
beings,
Right.
right?
Facts.
Just
Yeah.
like having a Biju,
It's
like a
like Boruto.
Jinjuriki.
Yeah.
That's how I really view the karma, right? So when it comes to like the curse mark, yeah, there's certain similar or similar to whatever, but I feel like there's a lot more differences if you really analyze it as a whole.
Right.
Okay. And then
Yeah.
most importantly, even if you take the similarities and compare that, I just feel like the curse mark has better world building aspects with it, and it just hit better, right? It
It
hit
hit better
better.
for sure.
The way Orochimaru used it, utilized it, and whatnot too. Blah, yada yada. How it was like an artificial sage mode on top of it, which was
Facts.
cool to learn eventually. That it was basically sage mode, but just artificial.
Artificial.
Like
Yeah.
it was so cool. It was so cool, and then how it transforms you.
Yeah.
That was badass, and it's
Fire.
different for everybody.
Jugo,
That's
Sasuke.
crazy.
Yeah. That was so sick.
Like Sasuke was a bird, which was so
Right.
fucking
With the
cool, right? You
wings.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and that always was like his theme too, like throughout the whole narrative, because eventually he becomes Taka, right? The bird and shit, like
Taka.
he's like, fuck
Yeah.
the snake heavy.
Yeah.
So like
Facts.
again, like, like I just loved it with the writing. Oh, excuse me.
More,
The curse
yeah,
mark, was really like um embodied with not only like who you were as a person, like your soul and
right.
whatnot, but it was different and it was unique and it just worked. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Um
The karma's
and
more,
the Onyx Shidori. The Onyx
yeah,
Shidori,
that
Jay.
was beautiful.
That shit
Yeah,
was crazy. A
yeah.
black Shidori, bro?
Fire,
Come
fire,
on.
yeah. That was
Come
one of the most
on,
peak
like
looking, one of the most peak, like highest
like,
peaks.
oh, like, yeah, come on. Cool that Boruto does karma and he has a massive right. I'm sorry, we've seen that shit. We've seen that from
Yeah,
Jiraiya.
it's
We've
more
seen that with
generic.
Naruto in his base, and
Yeah,
cool. You know what I mean? But like, bro, a black Onyx Shidori, but that's
fire.
badass. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's like Naruto having like a fucking black or red Rasengan. You know what I mean? Or like seeing Goku always do a blue Kamehameha, but then when he's Super Saiyan 4, now that shit's red. Like that's
that's fire.
badass.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean? Like,
fire. That definitely is more well thought
so
out. It's definitely way more thought out.
yeah, it's
Karma's
just
more
it's just way
generic.
better, bro.
Yeah, Karma's
Yeah,
more
yeah.
generic. Bankai or
You know,
domain expansion. Even the word
domain,
Bankai,
domain, man.
yeah, like
Yeah,
the word Bankai is iconic because it's been around longer, but domain
yeah.
expansions are more unique.
The aura, it just hits better, bro.
Yeah, and it's 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 a close one because like hearing
It's
fucking Ichigo,
close. It's
yeah,
close.
hearing
Yeah,
hearing fucking Ichigo say Bankai is so fucking iconic. But
yeah.
the domain
But,
expansions
but,
are really well
but
thought
eventually
out.
it got old. You know what I mean? Like eventually
Yeah,
you kind of like get tapped out of it in certain regards. With the Bankai shit.
yeah,
Or this, a lot of them were bangers, but then some were like, oh, it's fucking stupid.
yeah.
But with JJK though, a domain expansion
They're
never
so
missed, bro.
so
That
unique.
shit was so cool.
Yeah,
It was always like aura too, like
yeah.
peak ass aura. But like when you see Gojo doing it or
His
Sakuna,
is
bro,
fire.
that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like an entire environment created by these
Like
powers.
in all honesty, like this might be a hot take. I don't really think it is, but honestly, I feel like nothing beat like if we're taking the peaks of peaks, like the best Bankai to the best domain, which would be like Gojo and Sukuna. I think Gojo and Sukuna take it at that point.
Their shits are
It was just
hard.
so cool what it
Yeah.
is, and like the little hand signs to make, kind of like a Naruto moment too,
Facts. Yeah, they do
and
that
like
shit.
and then they're gathering all that energy, and it's just so badass, dude. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
I think
Like,
domain expansions have
uh,
had higher peaks.
yeah.
Especially with Gojo and
It's more
Sukuna.
unique, more
Yeah.
building with it too.
And even the other domain
So
expansions with other sorcerers and cursed spirits are pretty fire. I mean,
they're fucking cool.
like the
Yeah.
fucking dude that has like the lottery one, the fucking it's in the manga only, but he has like a lottery Bankai, not Bankai, domain expansion where his
Yeah.
luck goes higher and like there's all kinds of dope ass shit. Or like that
Yeah.
one
Like,
cursed
and
spirit.
remind you, yeah, remind
Fucking
you, me and
fire.
Jay, like again, like it's close. Like they're
It's
both
close
fucking
though.
badass, like
It's fire.
iconic, whatever, blah blah. But if I had to pick, I'd be leaning more with Domain. And remind you, I haven't even seen all the manga of fucking JJK. I've only
Yeah.
seen the anime. Okay.
Fire.
And I've seen all of Bleach though. Like not
Yeah.
everything, but I've seen a lot more Bleach than JJK.
Yeah.
So I love me some Bleach. Bankai's a badass, and there's
Fire.
also similarities, right? They either have unique abilities or they look really badass, whatever, blah. But I don't know. Like I feel like Domain, it just hits better, man.
It hits.
It's more
Yeah.
cooler, more creative in certain ways too. And most importantly, like it's like what's really cool with it too, like with the Bankai, you gotta like move and do like sometimes you gotta prep whatever. With the domain, that's more of like a Nero type move too. Like it's just like you thinking, you know what I mean?
Right, right,
Like you
yeah.
don't necessarily have to like use your hands or whatever or do some prep steps. Like you could just be like, all right, domain expansion, bam, like
Yeah, it's pretty
and that's
fucking
it,
fire. Yeah, it's pretty fire.
Yeah.
I got Bankai because of Sentry and Byakuya. Byakuya had a fire ass Bankai, I'm not gonna lie. That
Yeah, it
shit
was
was
cool. It
fire
was
hard. That
badass.
when you use it
Yep.
against Ichigo and then he became a hollow at the soul arc. I mean
Yep.
the soul society arc at the very beginning. That was a fire Bankai. That was a fire Bankai for sure.
Ichigo had, I thought, at least for me, but I would have to rewatch it again, so I could be tripping.
Yeah.
But I loved Ichigo's Bankai, like
His
with
shit was
how his
fire.
sword changed, or
Yeah.
especially when he does it and then he has the hollow mask. I thought
That
that
was
shit
so
was so
sick. That
cool,
shit saved him
bro.
so many times and early on. Like
Literally,
fucking he almost
that
died
was
like a
like
fucking
that
thousand
was his
times.
QB, his nine tails,
Yeah, that was
basically.
his
Like,
QB. This fucking Hollow's like, all right, I guess
uh,
I'll save your ass
nah,
again.
but
I was
I'll
like,
never
fuck.
forget when I always forget his fucking name, but the dude that fought Vastalord and lost, and he's like
Ulquiorra?
debatably the
Yeah.
strongest.
Yeah.
Yeah, him. I'll never forget where he sunned the fuck. He literally said, "Bitch, you just made a mask." All right, he grabbed his face and shattered that mask
That was
instantaneously.
crazy. Yeah, that was crazy as fuck. I was like, holy shit.
uh,
That was a
yep.
peak. Yeah, that's like one of the
Like
peak moments.
you see that one dude. What was his fucking name? Grimjo. You see
Grimjaw.
Grimjo having like a fucking Sasuke versus Naruto, but like equal, close as fuck, crazy type battle. You know what I mean? Like, and then you go to see that the other dude where he's just like, you know what, fuck you, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
insane.
he had
Insane.
insane aura. Like he wouldn't he was never reacting to anything. Not until
And bro,
obviously, yeah,
Jay, and then like this what like that's what I'm saying. Baka is good too. Like Bleach is just so fucking good. Cause remember
fucking
the shit
fire.
where he didn't even have to do it. Like, bro, he literally pulled like he's beating Ichigo's ass, destroying him.
Yeah,
And just to break his will, even though he failed, because Ichigo is that guy, right? Like he has
facts.
insane willpower. He won't ever you can't ever break him or make him give up. But he was like, you know what, motherfucker, you still won't drop your sword? Okay. He's like, hey, you thought guess what? I have another transformation. You
Yeah,
really fucked up. Like,
yeah.
he's like, I got Super Saiyan 2, bro. This is only Super Saiyan 1, and I'm fucking you up.
He was like,
Like
oh
that
hell
that's like
no.
Goku. That's like Goku going Super Saiyan 1 on Frieza, right? And he's bullying Frieza, whatever. And then he's like, you know what? Just to make you feel more despair, I'm gonna go Super Saiyan 2 now.
Oh my god, he just did that to break his shit. He's like, fuck you, man. I'll
Yo,
make sure you feel this
that
shit.
was when he did his next form and said that. I'll never forget when he said that. I was like, no fucking way, this man got another form.
Yeah, I was like, are you fucking
I'm like,
serious?
how does
Like,
Ichigo
bro.
win? The fuck
Yeah.
did he do?
Like
you
that
know,
guy had insane, probably the most aura in the Espada besides
so
obviously
much
Aizen.
ore, bro.
But
Like,
yeah,
and then he had like healing regeneration on top of it. Like,
crazy.
and then he also had infinite Biju bombs. Like he summons
Yeah.
like that green spear.
Yeah.
Hey, bro,
Oh
I'll
my
never forget.
god,
He threw
bro.
that shit. It does like a Biju bomb explosion, and then the guy with the glasses, the Quincy, he's like,
Oh
"Wait, he could just truck those effortlessly and keep going?
yeah.
What the
Dude,
fuck?"
everyone's all shitting their pants. I was like, dude,
Yeah.
this guy's peak aura. That was one of the best
And
fights.
the aura of Vaster Lord Ichigo had was
Oh
crazy.
fuck,
That
man.
shit was
Even though
crazy.
Kiora was shitting, he was shitting his pants. He's like, oh fuck no. I was like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
that
this?
how
But
like that shit was peak,
that was
like
like his peak, like his one of the most
but
peak
Bleach was
moments.
good, man.
It was
Bleach
so
Bleach was
good.
good, dude.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's so fucking good.
So
Yamamoto's Bankai is also aura incarnate. Dude, Yamamoto's Bankai is fucking fire, dude. Literally fire. He's like summoning hell when he summons his Bankai. Dude. That's fucking crazy.
That's insane. That's
It's like
insane.
fucking. I remember when he summoned it and he thought he was fighting Ewok, but it was just a Quincy. The whole entire Soul Society is like, if he's not careful, we'll all
You
die in
know,
hell. Like, what the fuck, dude?
yeah,
That's crazy.
now thinking about it, Jay, because it's just been so long. That's why it's kind of
Yeah,
really hard for me to gauge it. I have to rewatch Bleach. I'm gonna rewatch it because
so
I'm
fire,
about
dude.
to finish Dragon Ball Z. I'm on the Buu arc now.
Yeah,
But I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch Bleach. But I will say this, like, I'll say this: if we're saying like in general, like the majority of it, I'd side with Bankai for Bleach. But if we're saying like the peaks of peaks, I'm gonna say JJK
yeah.
for domain
JJK,
expansion. That's
Gojo,
probably where I'm at.
Sukuna.
Because
Yeah,
there's a lot of cool Bankai shit. There's a lot of
fire.
good shit.
Even the
I
word
think. You know what I
Bankai
mean?
is
Like
like
I know there's a
fire
lot
as
of
hell.
domain expansions, but I feel like there's way more good shit with Bankai
Yeah.
than JJK.
Even
So
the word is like iconic in anime. Fucking Bankai.
yeah,
There's
and the fact that they can keep upgrading their Bankai or evolving it
fire.
further, I think
Yeah.
that's crazy.
They have like a
Yeah,
relationship with their Bankais and
yeah.
then like Zanpakutos.
Like with domain expansion, it's just one thing. That's it. Like you
Facts.
can't improve it. You can't. It's just that's what it is. With
Yeah.
Bankai, you can improve it. It can get more powerful. Like it's just crazy, and it can
Yeah.
change your weapon. It could change your
Your
abilities.
sword.
Like
Yeah.
it's insane. Yeah.
It's pretty fucking fire. Yeah, it
So
really is.
yeah. So
Um,
I'll say Bankai overall, but peak, I'd say JJK.
yeah, Gojo himself just made domain expansion so peak. I was like,
Yeah,
bro. And Sukuna. It's like,
that shit
damn,
was insane. And
the
Sukuna. Yeah,
Malevolent Shrine.
I don't
Like,
know if you
god
remember, Jay.
damn.
Remember that Twitter post I tagged you in? It was with
Yeah.
Sukuna and Sasuke.
Oh my
But
god.
like,
Yeah,
yeah.
Sasuke, bro. Sasuke's
But
aura,
bro,
like,
like,
that's crazy.
bro, like if Jay wants to, if he has time, he could show
Yeah.
that clip. But that shit, bro, I was dying laughing. Like,
That shit is
even though
so
it's
fire.
fan made, that's
Yeah.
literally how it would go. That's how
Oh,
it would go
facts.
too. It
Yeah.
was so accurate. Like every time Sakura was saying, it sounds like, "Shut the fuck up, bitch."
He's
And
like,
like, and their aura is so crazy. like the henchmen are like they're starting to shit themselves in sweat because they're like, oh my
Yeah.
god, there's two fucking.
There's like these aura farmers
Uh.
are we're shitting our pants here. It's like, bro, what the fuck? They're all like bowing
What I was
down.
yeah,
Yeah.
what I was getting at though, I had to mention that because it's just so good. But what I was
Yeah.
getting at though, when you see Sukuna doing like his domain expansion, then even though it didn't matter, but that shit was so cool, bro.
Fire.
It was just so
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
His like his
so,
malevolent shrine is it's pretty fucking clean when he
so
summons that
fucking
shit.
cool, dude. I
Uh
mean, so that's what I was saying, bro. Like Sukuna and go. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, peak to peak, bro.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
hard to
I
beat
gotta
that
give it to
shit.
JJK, man.
Fire.
Yeah,
And when they do finally animate their fight, that's gonna break the internet probably, honestly. When they
yeah.
actually
Oh,
animate
yeah,
that shit.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It's gonna
That's
be
Naruto versus Sasuke 2.0 right there.
facts. That's
You
like
know.
some Frieza,
And what's
Goku,
crazy
Naruto,
is the side
Sasuke.
characters. For
Facts.
the first time in anime or manga history, the side character actually has the best fight in the
That's
series. So,
facts.
not the main
That's the crazy
or
part.
the antagonist for the main character, the
Yeah.
side characters. That's crazy.
Yeah, facts. I think the fact that fucking Yuji just never got like he's had good fights, but he never had a fucking
Yeah.
Gojo, fucking Sukuna moment.
Never
Like
to that same level.
never,
Like the
never.
Yuji's best fight, which I thought was really honestly, it kind of gave me like Data versus Sasuke vibes. It was that good like that was when he fought that blood dude. I thought that was
Oh
a really
yeah,
cool
that
fight
was.
in the
I think his name
anime.
is like I forgot his fucking name, like Chosen or some shit.
Yeah, they were going at it because yeah, he wanted vengeance for his brother.
Yeah, they're scrapping.
And they were
Yeah,
going at it. That was a bad. Yeah, they were scrapping.
yeah. That guy's a scrapper. His style with the blood shit. Yeah, he's a fucking scrapper. I was
Yep.
like, damn,
And then
bro.
Yuji being like close combat and shit, like and
Yeah,
smart and like being technically like a genius too, like Boruto is.
the Black Flash shit.
What's it
Yeah,
called?
that's just
So
fire.
yeah, so that's what I say. But yeah, no, like Jay was saying, he's never had it to that point. For instance, like Dragon Ball, right, or Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah,
Who is normally always going to be like the number one fight? It's going to be
yeah.
Goku in it, right?
Goku.
I bet money it'd be Goku, right?
Facts. Yeah,
He's more likely to be number one. Then you got Naruto. Same shit, Naruto, right? Which what do you know? It was Naruto and Sasuke, right?
facts.
And people either say part one or Shippuden. Then you have even One Piece. Guess
Yeah,
what? Who it
Luffy.
is?
Yeah,
Luffy. You know what I mean? Like so
facts.
again, like it's always that's typically how it goes. But with JJK though, they're
Fucking
like,
Gojo, man.
nah, side character this time.
Yeah, dude. Gojo is just so. God damn,
Yeah.
his aura is so crazy when he's at his peak. Uh,
That's like making Kakashi have like the best fight in Naruto.
yeah, like
Basically.
his
You know what I mean?
aura.
That's what they did.
Exactly. Exactly. It's like
You know.
I remember when Gojo during the Shibuya incident arc when he's like just walking because of his pure aura and he's like
Yo.
causing people to disintegrate. I was like, bro, what the
Just with
fuck?
his energy, like he's
Yeah.
pushing the guy like and evaporating him on the wall. Like you
I
know
was
how
like,
much
what
force
the
you need to do
fuck?
that, bro?
Yeah, I was like, dude, this guy's
And
his literal.
let's be real,
Like,
like
bro.
Goku could do the same, like
Oh,
Naruto
facts.
could do the same too, you know.
Yeah.
But he was the first character like to like emphasize that power in
He's
that
like,
way,
bitch.
and
I was
it's
like,
so
bro.
cool, you know.
Yeah, he was like smiling at these S-ranked cursed
Yep,
spirits. He's like, bitch,
aura,
and that's
aura.
loroaura. I was like, bro, what the fuck's
Like, bro,
happening? Like,
you want to know why I fuck with JJK so much too? Because that's why I just love. It's so unique. Like
yeah,
he was the first creator to make the side character really take the spotlight and
take the
make the
spotlight.
series what it is. It was
Fire.
the side character. It wasn't the
Yeah,
main for once.
yeah.
You know,
That's
like
definitely
9 out of 10
different.
times, it's always the main characters, right?
That's
You
a
know,
fact. Yeah,
what's even soul leveling the
yeah.
main character.
Fucking Jinwoo.
Like,
Yeah, facts.
yeah, Jinwoo, you know, the aura god, you know, but
Yeah,
what's it called? But you know, so like at the end of the day, like, you know, that's really so again, that's why I give a lot of love and respect for JJK because the way they went about it was very unique, very different, and it worked. It
yeah,
worked, you know.
yeah. Fire.
So
Gege, the author, he's just a risk taker, and I think a lot of people like
yeah,
that about him. Like when people
yeah.
died in JJK, that was it. They're dead. They're not coming
Yeah.
back.
Now
And
he
they,
fucked up a Gojo though. Like I'm
yeah,
so
facts,
like
facts.
that was stupid. Like
Yeah,
you can't make a character that's so popular, so
get
loved,
folded like that.
so powerful, literally the
Yeah,
Hashirama of your series, right? Or not, no, not that Madara of your series, right?
yeah.
Sukuna's the Hashirama.
He's Ashrama.
What's it called? Yeah. But you can't make someone like that's basically the Madara of your series or the Sasuke of your series, right? And then kill him off in the shittiest way.
Yeah.
Like
Cut
you know what I
in
mean? Like
half.
not even
Yeah,
like the most legendary epic. Like I'm sorry, that he absolutely fucked up on.
yeah. He
But
folded him.
everything else, all the other risk shit was beautiful because he
Beautiful.
did it
Yeah,
right.
flawless.
he
Yeah, it
did
was
it
flawless.
right, you know.
Yeah, it was so
So
beautiful. Like
like even
when,
Toji, a side
yeah,
character,
fire,
peak,
fire.
like
The way he
better than
died,
the main character.
yeah. Like his death was pretty beautiful too. Like when he knew like, oh man, I thought, I was him, and my own,
Yeah.
basically he was saying like my own pride got me killed. It is what it is. Like he accepted
And
it.
Jay, remember that
Uh,
moment where like he was right there next to Sukuna and that one beast?
oh
It
yeah,
could have
yeah, yeah.
happened. It could
Facts.
have happened.
Yeah.
But because his son was there, like he pulled like an Edo Tensei moment and was like, all right, I love you, son. You know,
Yeah, that was
saved him and
fire.
then just like
Yeah.
killed himself.
Yeah, that was a peak moment. That was like a W, his only W father moment. But Toji was
Yeah,
so like the moment he died, it was like a beautiful moment. Even Gojo was like, "Wow!" It's like basically like noticing like Toji's accepting his fate. He's like, "Man,
yeah,
that's like he almost like he was having like I don't know. He's like reminiscing on his life when he was dying. It was pretty
yeah.
crazy, but that was so
But I
peak.
will. Yeah, it was fucking amazing. I will say
Uh,
this though, don't get it twisted. Me and Jay are not saying like JJK is the best overall all around. We're just
yeah, no,
saying
no,
like in side character to for spotlight or to make your manga anime like hit like and be successful because of that. There,
yeah,
he's the first one to do that though.
the
But you
first,
know,
yeah, he's the
but
first.
the reason why Naruto or like Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z is always going to be better is because not only did the main character like was yeah sure the main character spotlight typical whatever right you know but not only did they have good shit for the main character, but also for the antagonist and for the side characters. That's
Facts.
why
Yep,
DBZ and Naruto will always be better all around
just
and
a better
overall.
story.
And even
Yeah,
yeah, and even this yeah, the story and even like the writing aspect, like who they try to kill off, right? Like they're not pulling a fucking Gojo in Naruto or like DBZ.
facts,
Like
facts.
to
Yeah,
basically in DBZ, I guess the equivalent of really pissing people off, like if you killed Piccolo permanently, or
facts.
if you killed
Like
Gohan
Vegeta.
permanently, you
Yeah.
know, or Vegeta. Yeah, Vegeta. Actually, I'd
That
say
would be
Vegeta.
pissed.
Vegeta. You know, like if people killed Vegeta like permanently,
We'd be so pissed. I'd be
bro,
so
yeah,
pissed.
that's literally Gojo 2.0. You know, like
Facts.
so, and then Naruto. An example for that, if it was Kakashi, that's the
Oh
perfect one. If
fuck
Kakashi
yeah.
actually died, like if he didn't come back and he actually died permanently,
Be
oh, she
so
would have been bad
pissed.
for Naruto.
Yeah, it would have been
He would have been
bad.
bad. The numbers they
Yeah,
would definitely
it
drop.
would have
Like
dropped.
Six, he was one of them. Shout out to Six, but
Yeah.
he literally said on the stream when he was talking, he literally stopped watching Naruto. He
Facts.
stopped
He did
watching
say
it because
that. Yeah.
Kakashi died. Yeah,
Yeah.
he stopped watching it, and it took one of his boys to convince him, like, no, try to trust, whatever, and then he went back to it. You know, so like again, like it's good shit, man. You know, that's why, like, again, like I'm not, don't get it twisted. Like Naruto and DBZ, things like that, they'll always be better because all around they did great, you know, with the side characters and the main, blah blah, and the writing, yada yada yada. But if we're particularly talking about for a spot, for a side character to take the spotlight, that's JJK hands down. You can't take that away. You know,
Facts.
like, and they made the show too. Everything they
Yeah.
set up
Gojo made the
domain
fucking show.
expansions, like
Uh,
all of it. Gojo, yeah, Gojo and Sakuna and Toji are the pinnacle of that show.
yeah.
So
Yeah. That's just a fact. Do you have Kid Buu
yeah,
above Buhan or vice versa? I think
okay,
narratively, I think rationally, Kid Buu is above him. He's just the antagonist that comes after the fact. But there's like, I guess I haven't really looked into the debate, but apparently there's like
yeah,
rationalizations to imply that Buhan is actually stronger than Kid Buu. I think it contradicts like the progression of Buu to say Buhan's
yeah.
stronger, but
'Cause I
uh,
haven't gotten there, Jay. I'm at the point where Goku Flex Super Saiyan 3, which is so fucking good.
oh, it's
It's so
fire.
good.
Yeah,
The first time, that's where I'm at. So I haven't, and where it's Fat Boo, you know what I mean?
yeah,
I
Fat
feel like
Buu.
the
He's
most
fighting
the
Fat Buu.
stupidest one. I hate that one. Like, and
Yeah, yeah.
I like the tall one, and I like Kid Boo.
They're
I can't
smarter.
stand Fat Boo.
Yeah,
But anyways, what's it called? But yeah, you remember it more than me.
yeah,
Fucking what's it called? Like to my memory, and mind you, I haven't seen it in a long fucking time, and your memory's better than me. But I
yeah,
could have sworn Kid Buu was narratively implied to be the strongest,
yeah. He was.
like the most powerful.
Yeah,
Like
he
like it was
definitely
just
implied to be
blatantly
stronger.
like really really emphasized.
It was like it was implied to be like his final form or like his strongest form type shit.
Yeah,
So
and didn't Super Saiyan like 3 Goku like where he didn't even have like the time limit restriction out. He could actually go Super Saiyan 3 and like go all out and like fight as long as he needed to. And that wasn't enough. While when he
facts.
fought the
Yep.
Fat Boo, he had a time limit, so his power was like technically nerfed and like he was restrained. There was only so much you could do, and he was destroying Fat Boo.
Yeah, he'd be in
like
the shadow.
destroying Fat Boo.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, you know, so like, but with Kid Boo, he was just fucking with him still. Like, bitch, is that all you got? Like he was relative, but Boo was still superior. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Kid Boo, you know?
Yeah, and
So
it's it's been a debate that's existed a
yeah,
long time for whatever reason, but it's Kid Buu is just implied to be the superior. He's just
yeah.
implied. He's the final.
Even the tall Boo, wasn't the
Yeah,
tall Boo like even shown to be like even like the second biggest threat, you know, compared to the first Boo we see and whatnot, you know,
yeah,
and
like the one that fought Vegito
like
and
yeah, yeah, like and all that, and like and go like I'll never forget. Gohan came with that aura
oh, that
again.
was
Like
fire.
I'll,
Yeah, that was fire.
his Super Saiyan 2 aura, unmatched, crazy. And then his what was it
His
called?
one, fucking
Ultimate
one. Oh
Gohan?
yeah, Mystic Gohan, I think.
Mystic Gohan, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll never forget when he came with that form. And that line, I can't wait till I get to
that was
that point. I
fire.
can't
Yeah,
fucking wait.
that was
I'm rewatching the series right now.
fire.
Can't wait
Yeah.
till I get to that point when he pulled up and he said, and Boo's like, "Oh, you want to fight me?" And he's like, "No, I want to fucking kill you."
I was like,
Like,
oh
I'll never
fuck.
forget
Yeah. That was one of the peak.
that.
That was like him aura farming the whole time. I was like, bro, what the
Yeah,
fuck?
you wanna know what's crazy about that? Because like Goku, he's always like being the nice guy, trying to
Yeah,
give you a chance, not trying to kill you, you know, let you like have redemption, but pull a daredevil, right? Nah,
facts.
Gohan straight up said Punisher mode, like, bitch, no, fuck you, I'm gonna kill you.
That was so peak. Like I have like a
Uh,
lot of these moments saved. Like I like looking for 'em. Another one was Goku and Cell
yeah,
when they were on the platform, on the fucking tournament platform,
yeah.
and he was like, "I fucking Cell was like, it's pretty cool, huh? This fucking this platform to fight." He's like, "Nah, not. I think it's pretty lame considering the stakes." And they're like fucking. They basically like aura farmed and started staring at each other. I was like, "This shit is
Yeah.
so peak." I was like, "That's one of the very few
It's so
moments
good.
Goku's actually being cold." He's like, "Nah, this shit is
He's
lame."
talking shit. Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
and then
at that point, you know what I think it was? It's because he was just tired of it.
yeah,
He's
he was
like, you know,
tired of
I'm
the
fucking
bullshit.
tired of this, man. What you
Yeah.
fucking aliens
It's like,
or you
bro.
motherfuckers like just trying to fuck with it and destroy the earth? Like, bro, come on.
Yeah, the way he said it was so cool, and Cell turns around and looks at him. He's like,
Yeah,
"Bitch," and they're just like staring at each other. I was
yeah,
like, "Bro."
yeah. He gave that look. He's like, you
Yeah,
motherfucker.
I was like, "This
Yeah,
that was one of Goku's best moments." I was like,
but
"Bro,
you
this
want to
shit
know
is
what's
so
crazy
fire."
too, though? Even though Cell was technically still superior,
Yeah,
Goku was actually going blow for blow. He was giving him a run for his money, though. Like they were going at it, whatever. And then eventually, it became clear that like he was still not stronger, and Cell was only like going like 2/3 of his strength. He wasn't going the max.
right.
Because
Yeah,
it took for Gohan to push him to use his max. You
facts.
know.
Yeah,
The one, and then obviously, like when he died and then got reborn, he unlocked Super Saiyan 2 on top of it, and
yeah,
obviously only Gohan could compete with that, you know. But I'm
facts.
talking about the perfection Super Saiyan 1. But
Right,
Goku
right.
was the
Yeah,
only one that actually
he was
gave him a run
scrapping
for
with
his
him.
money, and
Yeah,
Cell acknowledged him. Like he was like,
he
yeah, he was
acknowledged him.
scrapping. They were going at it.
He
They
was
were
even like
fighting. They
at
were
first
scrapping.
he
Yeah,
yeah, he even seemed disappointed when Goku's like, "All right, I'm gonna let my son come in." He's like, "The fuck, bro? The fuck you doing?
yep.
You're the only one." But then he's like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
Yeah, because the moment Goku
yeah,
realized, like, he's like, "Oh shit!" Like, yeah, he's using like about like 80% of his strength, but he's not using the last 20. You know, I can't beat this
yeah.
guy.
He's
Like,
like, "I can't
all
beat
right,
him."
Gohan.
So yeah, he's like, "Listen, Gohan, it's not out right now, but it's in you. You're gonna have to push, bro.
Yep.
Like, I'm gonna let you in there."
But
And
he
then
saw it. Didn't he see it? I just watched this. I don't know why I'm asking it, but I'm pretty
yeah,
sure it's the case. Didn't he see that when they were training in the time
yeah,
chamber?
is exactly
Like
why.
that's when he
Yeah,
realized. Yeah,
that's
yeah,
when he's like,
yeah,
"Oh shit! Like, I'm strong, but in you is greater strength than even I have. Like, that's why." You need to fight him. Like you could
yep,
actually beat him. I can contend, but I can't beat him. I'm not strong enough. And then once Gohan unleashed it, then when he was like fucking super like rage Super Saiyan 2, then he surpassed Cell.
yeah.
I was like,
Hey,
bro, that
bro, speaking of Gohan Super Saiyan 2, I saw a tier list on Twitter, and this guy had like S tier, A tier, whatever, blah, blah. He
yeah.
had Super Saiyan 2 Gohan in C tier.
What
What
the
kind of
fuck?
fucking
Like, bro,
crazy?
you're
That
not a
should be
Dragon Ball
S
fan.
tier.
Yeah,
That should
like
be like an A minimum, even though I think you're tripping on that, but that has
yeah,
to be S tier.
like bro,
Like
you
I'm
must
not gonna
be
say first place, but that's
yeah.
an S tier moment.
Like, bro, you must be
Like,
a One Piece fan, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? That's crazy. It's like you
No,
must
he
just
had
hate Dragon Ball.
he had the only thing he had correct was Ultra Instinct and Super Saiyan 1 Goku in S tier,
Yeah,
which that makes sense, right? I don't think
yeah,
anybody's gonna,
that makes sense.
disagree with that.
Yeah,
But yeah, but he had Super Saiyan 3 and C, which was crazy. Like that should be at least A bare minimum, or maybe even S tier, because that's like the first time we ever see like that was just so cool and iconic, right?
right.
Goku
Yeah,
going above and beyond. Like I'll never forget that. Like that's one of my favorite moments when he says, "Oh, and to go further and above and beyond." The way he says that shit, and
So
he's like
fire.
shaking the whole world. It was
Yeah.
so fucking good, bro.
That was so
But
good.
anyways, and then the fact that when Vegeta finds out, he got so pissed.
Oh fuck
He was
no.
like, "You motherfucker! You made me think I actually surpassed."
He's always getting pissed. He's like,
Anyway,
this fucker.
yeah,
God damn
yeah.
it. I remember
But
when
no,
he first saw.
I'm about to talk about I'm about to talk about Vegeta too. Shout out to
Yeah.
Vegeta.
Vegeta's so
What were you
fire.
saying though?
Yeah, I
What you
remember
saying?
when fucking Vegeta first saw when he came back and saw Goku fighting Frieza and Namek, he's like, "You fucking did it, you motherfucker." When he was in Super Saiyan, he's
Yeah.
like, "You fucking dog, you actually
He
did
was
it."
he was
I was like,
mad. He was mad, but at the same time, it was
he
like
was like
he was
proud.
prideful about it too,
Yeah,
because they're the same race at the end of the day, right?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
He was
And he's
like,
like, you know what?
"You
Hey,
fucker."
W, fuck this
Yeah,
guy. You know?
fuck this guy. One of the peak. I
Like this
think.
guy killed. He made our whole
Yeah,
race on the verge of extinction. Put an Itachi Uchiha,
you're bitching
massacred our
him now.
fucking our race. You
Uh,
know? Yeah. And he's like, you know what? Yeah, get that fucking vengeance, baby.
and then
You know what he said? He's like, Sasuke, fuck that Donzo up, baby.
yeah, literally. Well, honestly, along
Uh,
with the Super Saiyan 1 transformation on Namek, when he talks to Frieza, like his dialogue is like peak aura
oh,
farming. He's like, "Bitch, I don't even need to
oh,
fight you. I don't need to fight you because
yep.
deep down I'm better than you." And I think for I'm a monkey. I'm that monkey that beat your ass, and you're gonna have to live with that for the rest of your life. I was like, "Damn, bro,
And
that."
Frieza got so
He
mad
was
from that
so
ore,
pissed. Yeah,
from
he
that
was so
ore
fucking
nuclear
pissed.
bomb. He got so mad he tried to throw like that disc,
Oh
like
my,
behind
he's
his
trying to
back,
blow
and
up.
then Goku
Yeah,
still dodged it, and he got cut. He bled a
yeah.
little bit, but he was like, "You motherfucker!" He's like, "That's it."
Yeah, he's like, you fucker. And like fucking
He's like, "You fucked up now, motherfucker."
Goku's like, I don't
and,
even
he,
need
and
to
then he
fight
blew
you.
him up. He blew up his whole
Yeah.
body.
He's like, bitch. He's like, dude, I don't even need to touch you anymore. You're so fucking pathetic.
DBZ, bro. I have no
Bro.
regrets watching it for another time.
It's fucking
Like,
beautiful.
it's just so
Yeah.
fucking good, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and speaking of DBZ, I'll say one more thing. Vegeta, shout out to my man Vegeta, bro.
He's a
I'm gonna
dog,
talk
man.
about the funny shit first, and then I'm gonna talk about the
Yeah.
peak shit. The funny shit, I feel bad for him, bro. Bro,
Bro.
you thought Sasuke had it bad when Naruto? No, no, this motherfucker has it the worst when
Bro,
it
his
comes to the
life.
MC. Yeah, but
Yeah.
bro, see with Sasuke was above, right?
Yeah, he
Because he was
ever
the elite,
surpassed him.
right? You know, the prodigy, you know, whatever,
Yeah.
he was typically always above. Naruto was catching up because he was the failure, whatever, blah. And then eventually Naruto gets surpassed, but then Sasuke goes back, right? And then like
Yeah.
Naruto's equal, but he still loses, right? Like no matter what, for the majority, Sasuke was
He
always
was superior.
above Naruto.
Yeah.
Even in Shippuden.
Facts.
In DBZ, though, it's the opposite. It's always
It's always,
Goku.
yeah. Vegeta's like, God damn it.
Always.
He's like always pissed
Like
about
the
it.
closest Vegeta got was when he had the Majin amp.
Majin
You know what I mean?
Vegeta.
With Super Saiyan 2.
Yeah.
That was like the closest, but even then, Goku is technically like, if you really watch the fight, he was in a way, not fully, but in a way like holding back technically still.
Yeah,
You know,
facts, yeah.
what's it called? He wasn't like really like life and death, or going like,
That's a fact.
fully, but like Vegeta wanted to fucking kill him.
He wanted,
was
yeah, he
tired of
wanted to
shit,
kill him.
You know,
Yeah.
he was bloodlusted. He wanted to beat him. He was like straight up to his convictions. He wasn't fucking playing around. You know what I mean? Goku, though, he was going technically all out. You know what I mean? Like, but
Yeah.
he did have restraint, though. It's one of
Yeah, he didn't
wasn't
have killer
trying to kill
intent.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. So like, I'll give that, but that was the closest Vegeta ever got to a W. But even then, still, because he had Super Saiyan 3 in his fucking pocket the whole
Facts.
time.
He never even pulled it
like,
out. Yeah, he never pulled it out.
yeah, so
Exactly.
like I feel so like the way it started, literally the way it started. He meets Goku, gets on the planet, right? He's about to destroy Earth with Nappa and shit, and Goku humbles him. He's
Facts.
like, "No, motherfucker, I got Kaioken.
He's
I
like,
got
oh,
this
fuck
spirit
no.
bomb shit." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And then he's like, I got my friends to cut your tail too. You know what I mean? Like technically, actually, now thinking about it, Vegeta's only W was the ape.
Yeah,
That was
that's
the
it. That
only
was like
time
the
he
only
actually
time.
surpassed him.
Yeah.
The only time. And now thinking about it, it could, if Goku didn't have his friends and they didn't cut his tail,
He would have
they all
probably killed
died
him.
right there and then.
Yeah.
He was
probably
literally
killed
going to
him.
destroy the planet. And see, here's another crazy thing. Not only were these motherfuckers destroying moons or planet level and deep in Dragon Ball, I'll never forget when Vegeta literally says, Nappa too, but when they're literally saying, "Oh, we could just destroy this planet effortlessly."
Facts.
You even
What
see
the fuck?
Frieza doing it.
Yeah.
Frieza in his lowest form
In
is like, "I
base?
could destroy."
Yeah.
He's showing them do it. And then Frieza, and then like when he like here's the crazy thing. They say they could do that shit in their base. And
Facts.
then
Yeah.
Vegeta's in his ape, and he's like, "I'm gonna destroy this." It's like, motherfucker, you could do that already. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, bro, like I could only imagine in his monkey form. But anyways, a little off topic. But
Yeah.
I was just saying that because people really underestimate the like the scaling for Dragon Ball and
They
in
don't
DBZ,
realize it.
and they always try to compare it to Naruto. And it's like it don't compete. But anyways,
Yeah.
but back to Vegeta. I feel so bad because that's what it was. Just that same trend. Like Goku is always just winning, right? Beating him.
Yeah.
And what sucked about it, because with the narrative, you know this, Jay,
Yeah.
Vegeta was like the prodigy, right? He was like the son of the prince, you know, like
Literally.
the
Yep.
elite. You know,
The
he's
elite.
supposed to be the strongest or whatever. That was
Exactly.
his whole thing, right? And blah blah. So like, and Goku was like
A low
considered the
class
failure class,
Saiyan.
the
Yeah.
low, yeah,
Yeah.
peasant, you know.
Fucking peasant. Yeah.
You know what it kind of reminded me of? Remember what when Neji's dad and then the
Oh
uncle?
yeah,
It was the
yeah.
same shit.
Same
The same
shit.
shit where like the head family is like always supposed to be, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But the branch finally actually was stronger and surpassed, and it was the
Yeah.
same shit with Neji. Basically
Same
what you
shit.
got, you know?
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
But either way, but it was I felt so bad. And then you get like the Super Saiyan shit. That's like the biggest punch to the gut.
Oh fuck no. Yeah. He's like
Imagine
how
how
the
he
fuck?
felt when he saw Goku going that.
He's like, you
You
gotta
know, to
be
be fair,
kidding me,
like
bro. Yeah. He's like, you gotta be
actually, not
kidding
that I
me.
forgot. He was crying. He
Yeah.
was crying to Goku,
Yeah.
pleading to Goku, like, kill this motherfucker.
Facts.
like,
Yeah. Before
like
he died.
he kept me away from my father. You know, he tortured my father, blah blah, kept away all this shit, yada
Destroyed our
yada.
race, our
Like he's
planet.
evil, like destroyed our race. Like he was sobbing, man. And
Yeah.
he never cries.
Never.
He never cries, bro.
Yeah.
That
Never
was the
cries.
only time he cried. And that actually, like, that kind of fucked me up in a way because, like, I didn't even remember that happened. When I saw
Yeah.
that when I was rewatching, I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, this dude is, and he's not, and it wasn't like he's crying like a bitch. No, he's crying like it's still badass, like, and respectable. Because he's like, hey, like,
yeah.
fuck this guy. You know,
It's
like,
like
he's
anger.
pissed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, hey, you got the power to kill him. Kill this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
but all I'm getting at is like, I feel so bad for him because like imagine like you know like I don't know, that sucks, bro.
Yeah.
Like because you know it, he wanted to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That
You
was his
sympathize
goal.
for him. Yeah. Exactly.
To kill Frieza and blah blah. So there's that, and then you get to like then you just get further. Then you get to the fucking the Cell shit, right? And just he's getting beat up over and over. Goku's stronger, saving the day over and over.
Inferior.
And then the next punch in the gut, Gohan.
Gohan
surpasses
him. Yeah.
Goku.
He's like, no way,
half
bro.
human and half Saiyan. When Vegeta's full Saiyan.
He's like, this fucking kid passed me up. That's crazy, dude. Nah, that's
like, bro,
crazy.
he was pissed, you know, like, and then with the chair on top, where the writing gets so good, it just gets even better. It's like a mwah, where like it gets to the Majin Buu arc shit.
That was beautiful.
And he just lets it out. Like,
yeah.
Not only did he let that symbol
Bobbity.
You know what I mean? He could have actually like rejected it and just got rid of it. But he literally he wanted to say fuck you basically to everybody in the Goku.
Facts.
He wanted to surpass everybody. Gohan, Goku, you name it. He didn't care. He basically pulled a Sasuke like, I'm gonna get power no matter what. But he was even more badass because he literally said, hey, bitch, yeah, I let you put this mark on me, but I could still reject you. I'm not gonna listen to your bitch ass. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, that was beautiful.
He basically it's like Sasuke getting the curse mark from Orochimaru, and then Sasuke's like, you can't control me, bitch. Bye. I'm gonna fuck you up. I mean, and Sasuke couldn't do that until Shippuden. Vegeta, he does it immediately. He was just that guy. He was bad.
It was beautiful, like
then,
when they like the first moment when you probably saw it, like when he first when they're on the tournament platform and he like blows up fucking the stands, and Goku's like, I didn't know that you would allow someone to control you, and he's like is it enslavement when I'm getting what I want? He's like basically saying like I'm allowing this.
He's like, I ain't been in control, bitch. I'm controlling them. I'm actually been
like Goku was trying to like convince him to stop it, but he's like, it's not enslavement. I'm getting exactly what the fuck I want. Like I'm getting power.
And like, bro, how deep his conviction was. Like, bro, I love Vegeta. His conviction is unparalleled when it comes to all the mangas and animes, because he didn't give a fuck. Bro, he killed all those people when he blasted that stadium. He didn't give a fuck.
He didn't give a fuck.
He
did not give a fuck.
He killed those people in the stadium stand and like all the people in the city, because that blast like went all the way through.
Yeah, the fucking AP
it went through the stadium, through the city, and just destroyed us. and Goku's like, "What the fuck, man? Like
Yeah.
you're being evil Vegeta all over again." Like, and then
Exactly.
Bulma started crying, and she faints because she's like, "Oh no, he's bad again." You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
But bro,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's like, bro, you honestly, I don't support it,
Yeah.
obviously, because fuck, but you gotta give prop. Like he was set in stone in his shit. I mean, like he
Yeah.
was, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, it was a
he was
beautiful
about
moment
it.
because his conviction
Yeah.
like took over.
And that speech, remember that
Yeah,
speech he gives
it
to
was beautiful.
Goku and the Supreme not Supreme Kai,
The
where
Supreme
the
Kai
Supreme Kai's like, oh, he's like, oh, you're just having with your fucking petty fight, and when the world is in danger, blah blah, like fucking you're a little immature, bro. And his comeback and his speech, bro, I was like,
was
damn.
beautiful. Yeah, it was beautiful. He's like, and then when he
He
explains
shut that
why,
shit down.
yeah, when he explains why he's allowing it to be controlled, he's like, I was before all this
Yeah.
shit, I was perfect. Like I didn't have emotional ties to anybody. I've been
Yep.
weakened by humanity, and before that I was
Yep.
ruthless. Like I need that back. That's why I'm allowing this
Yeah.
to
Yep.
happen. It was
And
beautiful. I
and,
mean,
and,
I was like,
and,
damn.
and Goku's like, come on, bro. Like, what about your kids' wife? He's like, fuck them.
Yeah, he's like they're just holding me back. Like that's all they're doing.
Even though deep down, because Vegeta eventually does admit it, like, and
Yeah,
you
he
can
admits
also
it.
even see it when he's combining, like that is his soft spot. It is,
Yeah,
but he was still at the point where he's like, no, fuck them. If I
yeah,
have to choose between that, and I'm gonna choose this. I don't give a fuck,
exactly.
bro. You know what I mean? And he just told Goku straight up, "We're fighting right now,
Yeah,
motherfucker."
facts.
He
They're
didn't get
scrapping.
the world was about to be destroyed and at risk. The universe, not even the world, the universe,
Yeah,
technically.
with Boo.
Okay,
Yeah,
and Vegeta said, "Nope, nope, my conviction, motherfucker. I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass." I said,
the
and finally
scrapping was
surpass you and get
crazy.
my birthright. And what was
Yeah.
even more legendary about Vegeta, why I love Vegeta so much, is every time. But hey, you guys like to talk about fraud alerts. I'm sorry. Supreme Kai is the biggest motherfucking fraud I have ever
Yeah,
seen in my goddamn life.
that's a fact.
Okay,
Like, there's
you
nothing.
guys get on Boruto characters, whether if it's Code, Kawaki, whatever, but or other enemies or shit or whatever the fuck it is. But nah, okay, nah. Oh, there's no way. This is literally what happened. Piccolo was fear haxed by this guy's lore and reputation. He was he didn't even fight the Supreme Kai in the tournament. Okay, because that's how scared he was, right? Of hearing about it, like the lore and reputation, what he knew. Okay, and then when he heard Supreme Kai, apparently Supreme Kai is like the pinnacle of the Kais. There's the Grand Kais, then
Yeah,
there's like the next level Kai, which is like really, really powerful, and then you have the Supreme Kai, which
Supreme
is
Kai.
him.
Yeah,
So Piccolo was like shitting himself. Now, mind you, Goku could have probably defeated him, or not Goku. Piccolo could have probably defeated him or had a really good fight, but it was because of his lore and reputation. That's why he was scared.
yeah. You got fear
And it
hex.
was hilarious because there was all that shit happening, right? And so you get the impression, oh, this guy, okay, he's this Madara type shit, right? Okay.
Facts.
And then guess what? Then when we get to the fucking that wizard bitch, and all the fighters and shit, like the most powerful fighters in their universes or whatever, blah, you
Yeah.
get there, Vegeta comes along, he's like, I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, Supreme Kai. Fuck these people. I'ma fuck them up. And he literally does it. He just
Facts.
effortlessly beats like these so-called universal like threats or people that were like even like fear hacking or scaring the Supreme Kai, like and then Supreme Kai was like, oh my god, who
He's
the
like,
fuck are these mortals?
yeah.
He's like, what the fuck? These mortals have surpassed all of us. Like what he was shitting his pants and like no way these people are powerful.
Yeah, fuck them.
And then
Like,
mind you, Vegeta didn't even show his full power yet.
nah,
He
he
was
was just
he
fucking
wasn't even
around.
going all out when he was doing that. Like
Yeah,
Vegeta is a fucking menace,
he's a
bro.
menace,
He's a
especially in
like
that
he was
arc.
just killing them left and right, fucking people up, putting Supreme Kai in his place, and he literally called him out too. Like he was like, "Bro, you keep saying we can't beat this guy or whatever, or we have to strategize or be fucking bitches." But motherfucker, we're beating them all. I just killed these
Yeah,
guys, whatever. Like, shut the fuck up. That's literally what he said to him. He's like,
yeah. He's
shut
like,
the fuck up
just like,
before I
shut your
kill
fucking
you.
mouth. Like, that was
Like,
so
bro,
cold. God
and then
damn.
Goku like was like, Vegeta, chill out, bro. Like be nice. And Vegeta was like, no, you shut up too. You're just as soft. Like, bro,
That
he's a
was so
menace. Like
cold.
he may not have been the strongest, but
He's
he's
so
always a menace, and he got
yeah.
that aura and that air like black Air Force
Oh,
energy,
facts. His
bro.
his Black Air Force energy,
Oh my
arrogance. I'm
god.
like, bro, it's so peak. But
Sorry for the DBZ rant, but
that was beautiful.
bro,
Yeah,
Vegeta, I gotta say it, like he's that dude. Oh my god,
yeah.
he's great.
This
He
is so
cracks me up with the shit he
DBZ
does.
just has so many, yeah, so many beautiful moments. I'm like, bro, this shit is this peak ore farming at its best. It's like, bro, this is
Yeah,
crazy.
it's just so good. But long
Yeah,
story short, long story short, Vegeta was the worst victim when it came to the MCU.
facts.
Not MCU, main
The
character.
yeah,
The worst. I felt so bad for that motherfucker. But here's the crazy thing: is you normally when that happens, normally people are like make fun of the character, blah blah, or say, "Oh, they suck shit," whatever. No, he was still badass. He was still a menace. He was still that guy, never scared of anything, going above and beyond, doing the impossible, proving people wrong and shit, and was always the second strongest.
facts.
Typically, not
Yep.
like consistently, he was the second strongest.
Yeah,
There was certain moments whether
just
if like
Gohan.
maybe Gohan or whatever, or certain exceptions, but consistently he was always the second strongest. So
Yep.
like it honestly it balanced out all the other shit, right? And honestly, I don't even see it as a bad thing. It makes you feel more for him. Like you like him even more. He's like the underdog. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
underdog
you're
story.
cheering for him. You're
Yeah,
more vouching. Let's be real. Let's be real. We all got tired of fucking Goku always being the
winning,
strongest.
yeah, winning all
You
the
know what I mean?
time.
Like, come on.
Bro.
You know, it's like, come on, man. It's like give Vegeta his shit, his
Like,
spotlight,
get
bro.
him
You
one
know? So
victory where he wins, bro. Like, come on. God
literally.
damn.
Like, bro, even in Super, it hasn't happened.
Yeah, not even in Super yet.
like,
Nothing shit hasn't happened. We thought it would,
like
maybe,
he hasn't
but
like
nah.
he hasn't even had his Vegeta has not had even a Super Saiyan 2 Gohan moment. He hasn't had that.
Facts. Nah,
Like,
not at
and
all.
what I mean, not with like not with his writing or character or transformation. No. He's
Just
had
like just a
golden
W.
moments.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like as a W. Yeah, he had the writer just Toriyama just wouldn't do it.
I'm like, bro, come on. Like, yeah, well, this is all prayer that happens,
He
but
deserves it. If
yeah,
anyone deserves it, it's Vegeta.
it's
He
definitely him at this
deserves it,
point,
bro.
especially now. It's like, it's been like 3 decades, bro. Come on.
Uh,
Give him some. But
uh,
yeah, folks, WS stream. You know, we'll see what we do in the future. But yeah, W stream.
yes,
Hope you guys
sir.
enjoyed. Shinobi was going to make it, but he probably got busy, I'm guessing. But yeah, definitely W topics on this one. We got a few rants
Yep.
for sure. W rants, and we hope you guys
Worth
enjoyed.
it though. Such
Definitely
good ones.
worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
These are
bunch of
good
good
ones.
ones. Political, anime, everything. It's fucking crazy. But we hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you next time, folks. Peace.
Yes, sir.